as Peter Pan, peanut butter got us ballin', boy. Hot the pissin', so I'm out the window. Fully loaded extendo hanging out the rental. Dog food, I need my bits and kibbles. Bad news, I'm out the Vic kennel. My mama never knew about my hustle nor my whereabouts. Dope fiend rentals or the contraband in her house. Ice raining for the gritting foaming out the mouth. I never stop until the cash came. Off the porch with the torch in the fast lane. I never stop until the cash came. Broke outside, gritting in the pouring rain. Getting it out the mud like Shrek. Whole onions, packed and wrapped on donkey back. I want the money, y'all can have the fame. I never stop this hustle till the cash came.
Stay on my visit to the couch come in. And me and Dog flip them like they tumbling. Man, I want that 5, I want that whole 10. I seen this shit across the border like a Mexican. If we get where I'm from, they call it trafficking. If you don't work, you don't eat. That's common sense. Money on my mind, man, and how to get it. 12 ways to get paid, man, I'm all with it. Shovel in the dirt because I dig hard. My girl like it in the bed because I stay hard. Running through the streets like a dog off the leash. Half man, half a mason, but I'm all beast. Foaming at the mouth when it's time to eat. So we work of the dog when I show my teeth. Foaming at the mouth when it's time to eat. So we work of the dog when I show my teeth. What?
I never stop until the cash came. Off the porch with the torch in the fast lane. I never stop until the cash came. Broke outside, gritting in the pouring rain. Getting it out the mud like Shrek. Whole onions, packed and wrapped on donkey back. I want the money, y'all can have the fame. I never stop this hustle till the cash came.
It's all me, never cared to me. All my friends would see through TT Don Bob and sent me back to live with mama. Hopped up off the break. I'm focused on my vision. That's when I met my hitter. That Illinois bringing all the noise, nigga. Put me in that blue bomb and taught me how to talk. He never touched you. Close your mouth. Open your ears. See, you can't have my back unless your mind is clear. I'm sticking to the money that is thick. Survival of a coon, no hesitation. Never made a missing money. I say love to my hustle. Move that man about the way. Can't bring it back that butter. Mississippi, what they call me. Eerie when they walk in. Terror never stalling. I come out swinging if I'm back against the wall. Yeah, I'm never dime a dozen. I got a point. Going stupid dumb. Too fat on them. That go for my and that go for my too. Never change a soul look. Every day they judging you. Mama wrote them chronicles and that's who I pay homage to. Close your mouth. Open your ears. See, you can't have my back unless your mind is clear. You can't have my back unless your mind is clear. I'm getting to the mind.
They're on me.
Welcome to the Boss Morning Show. Today is Love Yourself Thursday. We got some more guests rolling through today. Stay tuned with us. We know what we're going to do this morning. We're going to play some more Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluff music. That's what we do here, man. We actually love our neighbors. Be purposeful on loving yourself today, man. Can't nobody love you more than you. 717, Love Yourself Thursday. Oh, yeah. Shouts out to Sarpy County, Douglas County, East Omaha. You know who I'm talking about. Boss with me this morning. Brandon, keep your head up. Boss with me.
Can't even see my daughter, I don't think it's fair to me. It feel like I gotta die to get someone to care for me. I often wonder why it ain't nobody there for me. Never really had nobody, so support is rare to me. I heard you only get one life and I've been moving carefully. Swear I done been to places people wouldn't dare to be. And now I see some things that I ain't really care to see. I'm a troubled human being and probably need some therapies. Cause nobody intervenes until they see you perishing. I don't want you to wait until I die to cherish me. Cause baby, I'm the king, I can't let you embarrass me. Going in the end for me, it ain't nobody rare as me. Sick of those abusing me, misusing and confusing me. Usually I'm the target, it's like they always choosing me. So I keep my heart guarded so I don't end up losing me. I done been broken hearted before, it's nothing new to me. They thought I was retarded cause I maneuver stupidly. When in my head I thought no one maneuvered as smooth as me. A bunch of people faking, they be acting cool with me. Steady smiling in my face and probably plan on shooting me. Last dude tried to kill me, used to go to school with me. Been knowing up since second grade, you really grew me. Now I can't leave the house unless I got that two of me. Be a cold day in hell before I let you fool with me. Girl, you wasting your time if you plan on seducing me. You can shake that booty me, but girl, it ain't amusing me. Baby, I would rather know what can you really do for me. Cause you gotta hit the door if you got plans to ruin me. Can't even see my daughter, I don't think it's fair to me. It feel like I gotta die to get someone to care for me. I often wonder why it ain't nobody there for me. Never really had nobody, so support is rare to me. I heard you only get one life and I've been moving carefully. Swear I done been to places people wouldn't dare to be. And I done see some things that I ain't really care to see. I'm a troubled human being and probably need some therapy. If you accept me, then accept how I'm living. If you respect me, then respect my decisions. I've been thugging with a passion. There's some things you can't imagine. Got mama telling me I need to move different. I've been tripping. I don't know why me and my daughter so distant. I don't know why they wanna ride my image. I know they don't want me completing my mission. Only God is my witness. Yeah, the same people I call family abandoned me. Say they love me and wouldn't lend a helping hand to me. So when I'm up and finally able to manage me, I bet I won't forget the things you did to damage me. Saying sorry was just a way that you could banish me. But you can keep them fake apologies you handed me. Slowly but surely becoming the man I plan to be. I got a plan for me, but I don't think you understand. Can't even see my daughter, I don't think it's fair to me. It feel like I gotta die to get someone to care for me. I often wonder why it ain't nobody there for me. Never really had nobody, so support is rare to me. I heard you only get one life and I've been moving carefully. Swear I done been to places people wouldn't dare to be. And I done see some things that I ain't really care to see. I'm a troubled human being and probably need some therapy.
Rolling deep in these streets like the Taliban's. I slaughter, dog, I gotta go harder. Holding heat until I blow like a ceiling daily. I paid me to provide as a father. Doing what I can, showing them a better man. Hustle a little faster, pray a lot harder. Till I got bread in my hand like them a dance. Till I'm just hustling to touch and make a rubber bands. Without losing my kids or losing contraband. You understand what I'm stressing when I'm stressing, man? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of life. And everybody keeps on saying.
And all because I thought you had me sad, even though you showed we could have had it all, but all you saw was you. You got too far inside my head, and you play me. I've been trying with my heart, living this life from the very start. I know one thing that's for sure. The more they try to stop me, the more that I'm gonna go.
I got they got needs, no Similac. Ain't shit for free for me, no simping that. Luxury seem like a dream, give me some of that. Unity be one thing I know my people lack. What's ridicule if you lashes across the back? I cross over, never crossed out, the blanket for the pack. Left a board, return the man with a plan. I think God forgive me one time, man, without reaching back.
But all you saw was you. You got too far inside my head, and you play me. And all because I thought you had me sad, even though you show no trace at all.
Big bitty bad, big city. Who got the bigger world? Big that pretty on tsunami, that's a good kitty. Pretty face, long hair, that's a good fitty. Look at that, I thought he in the hoodie bag. Hit the model chicken down, she throw that goodie bag. Shawty like to ski like a mini man. Penny in the leg, toting plenty. It's in Miami, toting plenty. It's the Queens, toting plenty. It's some in the A, shaking plenty. Put the in the face and do a minute blast. Go tsunami on it. Bad. Go tsunami on it. Shorty 5'3" and stupid dead. She be chillin' in Miami and she live. Bad. Go tsunami on it. Bad. Go tsunami on it. Shorty 5'3" and stupid dead. She be chillin' in Miami and she live.
She let me know she wanna get it jumpin'. So I let her know I wanna hit the pumpkin. And then she let me know she wasn't with the front end. Well, get with it, honey, let me hump then. Plump like a plum lady, let me put my thumb in it. Gone, throw my bone in the box like I'm done with it. Dome, no I don't, tell her stop cause she done with it. Home, like I know she a thought, but the bun's wicked. And I ain't gotta call her my boo, cause as bad as I wanna, that means she wanna too. I come at her too, I get it crackin', running her through. She ready to go, that means you can run on her too. Hey.
Bad. Go tsunami on it. Bad. Go tsunami on it. Shorty 5'3" and stupid dead. She be chillin' in Miami and she live. Bad. Go tsunami on it. Bad. Go tsunami on it. Shorty 5'3" and stupid dead. She be chillin' in Miami and she live.
Ride on this pole, come off of that mouth. Don't act like you don't know what to do with that rope. That tongue ring, that ring is there to catch your nut. Yes, I'm my nip. Yeah. Done up. Throw that back when you see a trill. Guarantee to make you clap when she twerking on. Run it for a play. All day, booty every day.
Go tsunami on it. Shorty 5'3" and stupid dead. She be chillin' in Miami and she live. Bad. Go tsunami on it. Bad. Go tsunami on it. Shorty 5'3" and stupid dead. She be chillin' in Miami and she live.
Look, with the freedom I ask as I walk through the streets. Cause where I'm from, all I see is a bunch of police. Can't escape them, it's like they put us onto a leash. Living under their control, where's the freedom of peace? Look around as I see violence, followed by sirens. The voice of women crying, another son dying. I ask myself, why, man, what's I replying? And look at where I'm living, see the circumstances given. High unemployment rate, mean less money people giving. So only way to get it is illegal by condition. This leads us into grave, will give people a conviction. And next thing you know, people on their way to prison. Listen, hear my position, cause what I'm saying, ain't no freedom for a slave or a brother, man. We go to work, giving money to another man. We go to work and somehow still end up struggling. Whether meals or us bills, gotta feed our kids. Single mothers on the rise, belly at the crib. Hustling, trying to provide food inside the fridge. See, as a child, he only feels that's just how it is. Crazy, man, I ain't proud of this curse I'm birthed in. My mama had to struggle, I had bounced back, but it still got worse until we match. Come divorce, man, making it harder, truly taking it farther. Mama doing it on her own, feeling a vacated father. But I came back, even though they not on the same track. Cause I was almost tempted to sling crack. Cause I was tired of hurting, feeling it was not for certain that I would be successful, might as well just close the curtain. But then I just adapted, I always wasn't working. Grabbed the book and started reading on black and European bookstores. I stay looking for facts, I kept on needing. Could I become successful cause I'm black and well seasoned? Black Wall Street, man. 1921 in Tulsa, where Black Wall Street in. And they had dropped the bomb on it. May I call the run on it. But blacks can bring it back once again. We done it. They don't want what come from it. No doubt they'll confront it. They ain't feeling cause we gon' rule again. The people want rule the land. Africa, we once had been a place full of riches. King, queens were witness. Old King Selassie once called Lidge Tafari, something they didn't teach you. Many lies they had speak through to keep you as a slave, hoping that you wouldn't seek truth. Trying to dumb you down, saying we uneducated. But them, the stuff they teach you, we created. Like man, found to connect. Science further by Moors, first writing was Phoenician. Discovered at the core, Africa, the land of riches. America, we live in poor, non-fictitious. They treat us like fishes, money. Cause we slave to death. Look at our finance. We speak, the IRS keep us in silence. Taking taxes, we barely making past it. Time stretching, resorting to defiance. By any means, anything to be seen. Moving out of broken apartments, living life out of shame. In the ghetto, steam seem like out of the kettle. Little girls who 13 walk around in stilettos. Got music talking about guns, popping pills for fun. Selling inside of the market for meals or some. People talking about sex, knowing deals to come. On my heart, STDs, highest rates to none. It's ridiculous, yet they say that we ain't slaves. Yet more money we receive, and less money is gave to our community. People living life with impunity. Meanwhile, people feeling sick, started killing quick. I can never sit, but I would rather take a stand. So I take a pen, writing how we on taking land. With this enslaving man, I wonder as I sit and ponder. Forget slavery, I kinda trying to have it done for. Yeah, T-Bone, The Awakening. 2017, we gon' rise, my people. Yeah, we gon' rise. We gon' rise. T-Bone out.
NewYorkBangers.com.
Whatever you wanna do. Hey, baby, love when you wanna get close to me. I need your energy. I want love when you turn me on. I love when you tasting me. You work it, babe, and you deserve it, babe. Love when you text me, babe. You deserve it, babe. Love when you work it, babe. I don't want no one else. Keep it all for me, babe. Keep it all for me, babe. It's going down tonight. Come and pick me up. Come and fill this cup. Yeah, ooh baby, put me in this ride. You know what's up. Meet me downtown. Gotta turn up this club. I want love when you turn me on. I love it. You taste me. Taste me. You work it, baby. Yeah, you deserve it, baby. Love when you taste me. You deserve that shit. Oh yeah, you work it, baby. I don't want no one else. Keep it all for me, babe. Keep it all for me in the morning. I'm up talking sexy with you. Right, yeah. You know, when you bang my line, it's whatever you wanna do. Right, yeah. You know, say that you needed me, waiting so patiently. I don't need no one else, so stay on with us. Say you say someone else, I don't need you with someone else. Better expect me, babe. Better feel me, babe. I'm the type of woman I like to shoot. You know you like this freak girl, it's a damn.
Ice on my neck, like I pulled a muscle with some niggas from the set that ain't scared to tussle. Last time that I checked, I just wanna check the last time that I checked. I just wanna check live. Run it up. My bitch need a bag. The last three wasn't enough. Count it up. Hey, what the hell? I told you the mount was off. I'm all about money, you know I'm no dummy when it comes to these hundreds. Give me my check, niggas act funny, so I keep curry. Pull up like 30 for my respect. I had to slide on him. James Brown with the pocket rocket, nickname Lil H-Town. I'm like, hey now, you said the first is the eighth now. A drumming with the rebound, off the glass breaker down. I was 17 with a movie clip, try to make a scene. Off the triple beam, numbers flipping like the judging team. I was the life of the party, before they shut down the party. Black, sheep Chris Farley, had them on a wave like gnarly. Now I push numbers like sorry. Hey, this show, baby, call Mari. Took the bitch out of Ed Hardy. Now a new bag, Bagari. So give me mine. Give me my check, or she dropping them penny lines. Penny line, pussy on Jace on my neck. Like I pulled a muscle with some niggas from the set that ain't scared to tussle. Last time that I checked, I just wanna check the last time that I checked. I just wanna check like run it up. My bitch need a bag, the last three wasn't enough. Count it up. Hey bitch, what the hell? I told you the mount was off. I'm all about money, you know that me when it comes to these hundreds. Give me my check, niggas act funny, so I keep curry. Pull up with 30 for my respect. Mike Jackson with my Billie Jean. Put a scope in his mouth, no Listerine. Say they won't smoke, now they all choke. Asking for the patch for the nicotine. Just popped a couple sensual beans. Wash it down with a pint of lube. Hit your bitch off of Elm Street. Now we're all in the dreams. Jumping like a trampoline. Ice cold, need vapor rub. Maybe it be Maybelline. How all my exes trying to make up. Ocho Cinco give me head, but new Christians gotta pray up. Don't fuck what you pick. Assalamu alaikum. Foreign denture white when I be flossing. Neck be looking like a leaky faucet. All my dogs stay on guard, please approach with caution.
On the main line, why don't you call me? Tell him what you want. I wish I had a witness to say, Jesus is on the main line. You ought to call him. Tell him what you want. Call him. You ought to call him up. Why don't you call him? Tell him what you want. Traveling, you don't mind when you sing a bird here. If you've been sick and you couldn't get well, you ought to tell the Lord. Tell him what you want. Hey, if you've been sick, y'all, and you can't get well, you ought to tell the Lord. Tell him what you want. Hey, call him up. Call him up. You ought to tell the Lord. Tell him what you want. Tell him what you want. Good God Almighty. The line is never easy. Why don't you call him? Tell him what you want. The line is never easy. You ought to call him. Tell him what you want. What you gotta do is call him. You ought to call him. Why don't you call him? Tell him what you want. Tell him what you want. We get ready to move on. Hey, you ought to call him. Call Jesus. And just tell him what you want. You ought to call God up. Call Jesus. And just tell him what you want. Anybody here? Call Jesus. Wanna call on Jesus? What you want. Anybody here? Call Jesus. Tell him what you want. Tell him what you want. I remember a long time ago. Call Jesus. When I fell down on my knees. What you want. Didn't know what I'm gonna do. Call Jesus. I told the Lord what you want. Create in me. Call Jesus. A clean heart. And renew the right spirit within me. Call Jesus. What I want you to do. Tell him what you want. Tell him what you want. Tell him what you want. Tell the Lord. Tell him what you want. Tell him what you want. Tell him what you want. Mine ain't never be there. You can call him anytime. Yes, sir. Any time of the day. Good God Almighty. Let me tell you one more thing. Anybody ever call him? Anybody ever call him? Will you ever call him? Anybody ever call him? If you ever call him, let me show up on time. Let me come on your time. Hey, tell him what you want. Call Jesus. Call Jesus. You ought to call him. Call Jesus. I really want me, you I tell you to call him. Call Jesus. If you're thinking, call Jesus. You ought to call Jesus. Call Jesus. Tell him what you want. God of mine. Tell him what you want. Tell him what you want. Tell him what you want. When I'm thirsty. Tell him when I'm hungry. Tell him over my head. Every time it's storming. Tell him what you want. Call Jesus. Call the Lord. Call Jesus. Can I get a witness? Call Jesus. Anybody ever had to come? Call Jesus. Don't you be ashamed. Call Jesus. You gotta come. Call Jesus. Call Jesus. And my
God good. Ain't my God good. Ain't my God good. Oh, God make a way. God make a way. Turn it around. Your life around. Turn it around. Your life around. All you got to do. All you got to do. Turn it out over the cheek. Watch God work it. Watch God work it. Watch God work it. Watch God work it.
This is fresh.
It's the game. I'm the leader of the trap movement. The trap movement. The trap movement. Cause I be in the trap while the pack's moving. The pack's moving. The pack's moving. I'm the leader of the trap movement. The trap movement. The trap movement. Cause I be in the trap while the pack's moving. The pack's moving. The pack's moving. I'm the leader of the trap. 180 grams each bag. Coca gang man bless me with the packs. Now in the wheels looking like Shaq. Got a couple shooters down here out of KC. Plus more down the street ain't even 18. Real killers round me with the red beams. Book bags full of hash in that Billy Jean. Fat dumb smart, only 29. Hit my phone, talk tone if you need a line. Turn my family flips, ask them how them packs move. Cause I'm the leader of the trap movement. I'm the leader of the trap movement. The trap movement. The trap movement. Cause I be in the trap while the packs move. The packs move. The packs move. I'm the leader of the trap movement. The trap movement. The trap movement. Cause I be in the trap while the packs move. The packs move. The packs move. 89 crack packs, man, I'm booming. Leader of the pack gang, it's a movement. Gang over everything, moving units. That cold that we be selling got them grooving. I keep a bad around me looking juicy. In the telly groupies try to make a move. But a nigga ain't buzzing unless that money coming. Young blood nigga out here really thugging. Keep a shooter on deck in a black tank. Neck shot, head shot, we don't aim for test. Catch me out here looking stunting in that SS. Little Bobby, it's the gang out to get us back. I'm the leader of the trap movement. The trap movement. The trap movement. Cause I be in the trap while the packs move. The packs move. The packs move. I'm the leader of the trap movement. The trap movement. The trap movement. Cause I be in the trap while the packs move. The packs move. The packs move.
This is the Legion. All this tension from your job, on your body, on your mind, all week. Shit, when I look into your eyes, I can feel what you feel in times 3. I move fourth bottle, got bottles, I'm the plug, got whatever you want. She poured up and she drank every sip that was left in her cup. She wanna get loose. I know that she'll blame the drink. She just wanna be loose. Just keep your feelings, stop lying, keep trying. Take it loose. I know what you want. You wanna get loose. You want. You just wanna get loose.
Baby, it's time to get loose. Kick up your feet from a long work week. Let's get loose and have a few drinks. Take that stress away, cause it's a weekend, baby. So let's get that wine in the glass. Or hit the club so you can shake that ass. Let's have a party with a few friends. Or a couple's night with some beer and Netflix. I'm here for all your needs. You deserve the world, Mrs. LYD. It's you and I till the day I die. And that ain't no lie. My soon-to-be wife got me singing like
all this tension from your job, on your body, on your mind, all week. Shit, when I look into your eyes, I can feel what you feel in times 3. I move fourth bottle, got bottles, I'm the plug, got whatever you want. She poured up and she drank every sip that was left in her cup. She wanna get loose. I know that she'll blame the drink. She just wanna be loose. Just keep your feelings, stop lying, trying to get loose. I know what you want. You wanna get loose. You want.
Still well, right goose, got you in the mood. So get loose like you need to tie your shoes. Ooh, only girl I choose. Lene Morales, you my boo, true. Working hard, staying on your job. Independent, got it from your moms. So beautiful, you drop jaws. Love everything about you, even your flaws. Ooh, you the one, not number two. See you on the floor, I love your moves. Life sucks, somehow you see through. The work week's over, time to get loose. Got me singing like
all this tension from your job, on your body, on your mind all week. Shit, when I look into your eyes, I can feel what you feeling times 3. I move for a bottle, got bottles, I'm the plug, got whatever you want. She poured up and she drank every sip that was left in her cup. She wanna get loose. I know that she'll blame the drink. She just wanna be loose. Just keep your feelings, stop lying, trying to get loose. I know what you want. You wanna get loose. You want. You just wanna get loose.
Do you wanna hear some music? I wanna hear some music.
Mama, Daddy, Grandma, Aunt Ethel, this is for everyone.
As I fall to my knees, get up with strength to succeed. As I fall to my knees, get up with strength to succeed. I got questions for God as I fall to my knees. In the fight of my life, need the strength to succeed. The choices are simple, taking up with a creed. Surviving with valor and salvation in these streets. Mother died in my arms, her last word was my name. Didn't know those few seconds would be a lifetime of pain. My control, my guidance before addictions to violence. Black lamb of a family, but I'ma keep that private. Obligated to obstacles as I left out the hospital. Prison or death is what was left of the possible. Since I've struggled and cried, been punished by pride. I carry my tribe from my shoulders when stride. Through the pain in my eyes, learn the art of disguise. Disgusted with failure, being stuck in the cellar. Mirror in the basement, say it won't be forever. My position moving forward, escape from my past. Feel like Oscar the Grouch, stuck in a can full of trash. Police stay in my life like paparazzi the tabloids. Gone is my innocence, all my adolescent joys. I've asked God to forgive me for all the lives I destroyed. I got questions for God as I fall to my knees. In the fight of my life, need the strength to succeed. The choices are simple, taking up with a creed. Surviving with valor and salvation in these streets. After my birthday, found out my father had died. Left his oxygen machine home and went for a ride. 17 years, only part of my life. Left me with a Jewish prayer and the enemy's price. It was the cost of this living, thinking outside of the system. Keep them squares on my circle, multiply through division. Open my ears, been so long just to listen. All this bottled up rage, just wanting memories for Christmas. Had something to say like Iron Man and Jarvis. Death is an interruption that starts with a carcass. These streets are a vulture whose actions are vulgar. My destiny to live as God's greatest soldier. I'm destined for royalty, all I got is my loyalty. Time going fast, like the days upon Mercury. Hear the noise in my silence as I live it all private. Uncontrollable anger, Ferguson's riot. I got questions for God as I fall to my knees. In the fight of my life, need the strength to succeed. The choices are simple, taking up with a creed. Surviving with valor and salvation in these streets. Life is full of choices, I know that to be true. Took my mother to die, 5 years to graduate school. Was I a product of my city or a natural food? Maybe I was too weak and had nothing to prove. The end of 93, the day was New Year's Eve. I was playing John Madden when my grandma came to cease. Then the 5th of 94 when heaven opened its door. Let my mother in, that's when they showed me her soul.
got trials and tribulations, is that all that I know? Called my dad from my sister's phone, he was living in Bama. I was throwing a barbecue, now things changed like the channel. Explanations with exclamation, this dish now served. Striking out the swinging like he's throwing me curves. This monologue is a catalog of all my experience. The wind done changed, the world is different. My grief runs deep, it comes out in my character. I got questions for God as I fall to my knees. In the fight of my life, need the strength to succeed. The choices are simple, taking up with a creed. Surviving with valor and salvation in these streets.
Someone's get caught, someone don't get caught.
Sure. Yeah, there's definitely more we can do to help prepare young people and reentry folks. Absolutely.
All right, Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. For the last couple of days, we've been talking about just all this money coming down. Oh, welcome, hello. I just to introduce myself. I'm your host, William King. Welcome to the Boss Morning Show. It is 7:55. It's a beautiful day. Fall is here, y'all. The earth is rotating. I love when the earth rotates. Yes, physics and all that geometry and biology. Science is real, y'all. It's real. And I love this season because I like to chill. I know y'all love to chill too. And we all need a little bit, but it is election season. It's hot around here. And we gotta recognize who's running, and we gotta recognize if that's the best decision for our environment. Because right now, man, we need some love. We honestly need love. I don't know, Russia over there talking about nuclear weapons and all this stuff, and we over here fighting amongst each other. I don't know. We got to get along, y'all. I don't know what the heck is going on, and I don't know what's going on. But we got people all around the world trying to get us, and we can't even get along over here. And we go to church. Did we just go to church? I think it was it Bible study yesterday? I know y'all went to Bible study. So if we call it the day is Love Yourself Thursday. We are a research radio station. Our goal is to modify behavior so we're better individuals, better family members, and better citizens. And we got to put it in practice. Yes, just like Ira Iverson, practice. Like I put negativity in practice. Yes, we need to put positivity in practice. So today is Love Yourself Thursday. We demand you to do something that prove that you love yourself. I don't care what it is. If it's smoking a cigar, sitting on your back porch, looking at birds, feeding squirrels. If you love yourself, do it. If you're in the middle, I went fishing in Little Lake Michigan. I was scared. I called all around the country and pray for me. I was scared in the middle of Lake Michigan. But I went out there and it was so peaceful in the water. I went to sleep. I even caught a salmon. So do something that indicate that you love yourself, man, because it's impossible for someone to love you more than you. You with yourself every second of the day. And we cannot love anyone else until we love ourselves. So we do this for real, y'all. We're really trying to change ourselves on a daily basis so we're better human beings. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with being a better human being? So love yourself today. You know what I do? I pick up my grandkids. Oh yeah, I pull up on them in school, and they real little, and then I give them all the love. See, that's how I love myself by loving my family. So do what bring love to you, for real. So you know how we got to start in the house all today. We got to start in the house. I've been knowing this gentleman to my right for a while, and he's been protecting this community for a while also. And so I don't know how many years. He looks young, even though he looks young for real. He don't have no wrinkles either, man, for real. Hair all fly. I try to get my hair together, but look at his hair. You know how these stars are. They got their own noun, verbs, adjectives, prepositional phrases, all yes, and predicates to introduce themselves. I'm gonna let this gentleman introduce himself because he wants to be the next sheriff in Douglas County. And so, of course, we brought our brother Wayne in here. Man, we're fair like Fox News, fair and balanced. And so we gotta bring my man in because I've been knowing him for a while. And if we're gonna build community relationships, we gotta build relationships for real. And so I wanted him to introduce himself, and we'll get right into that dialogue. So, how you doing today, brother?
Good. I appreciate you having me very much. Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate the invite.
Well, what's going on? Let people know who you are. First, tell us who you are, because I mean, you actually been around in the community for a while.
Sure.
Just let us know who you are. What did you go to school here? I mean, are you from here? Where you actually from?
Sure. I'm Aaron Hanson. I am a sergeant with the Omaha Police Department.
Okay.
A week and a half ago, hit my 26-year anniversary.
26 years.
Born and raised in Omaha, Nebraska, and Douglas County, with the exception of 3 years. My dad moved us out to Houston for a couple of years to follow a job, but I started my childhood at 44th and F. I was a Robbins Elementary kid. I was a St. Stan's kid. And then my dad moved our family out to Houston following a job. He got a promotion, and we missed Omaha. We missed Douglas County. We missed all our family. So he moved us back. And then he moved us back into that Florence Ponca Hills area, where I went to Nathan Hale.
Okay.
And graduated from North High. So yeah, I grew up, especially in my teenage years, at Florence Miller Park area.
Okay.
Worked at Florence Drug when it was still there, and then worked at the old Shopko when I was going to college, catching shoplifters. And that's kind of how I fell in love with law enforcement. Fell in love with problem solving with people and trying to help people. My wife's a nurse. I've got 4 kids.
Okay.
My oldest kid is 21. He works for Kiewit. My 20-year-old kid, he is considering either a future as a law enforcement officer or a firefighter. He's leaning towards firefighter.
Okay.
I have a 17-year-old daughter. She's a senior, and she wants to follow her dad's footsteps into law enforcement. Very, very proud of that. Hopefully the Hanson family can keep pushing that diversity factor when it comes to law enforcement profession.
Right.
And I got a 12-year-old, and he's just an all-around good kid. So
okay.
Right now, I'm assigned to the fugitive unit. I'm the supervisor of the fugitive unit. That's the group that goes after all the violent, high-risk, wanted offenders, whether they be murderers or shooters or child molesters or rapists or robbers. I spent many years as a supervisor on the gang unit, specifically North Gang. That's where I feel at home. This is where I feel most comfortable, up on the north side of the city. And spent years as a supervisor on uniform patrol. K-9 unit for 14 years, combating the drug cartels on I-80. And also spent 6 years as the president of the Omaha Police Officers Association. So, it's been a fun career. I've loved every day of it, and I've loved serving and protecting the citizens of Omaha.
Well, we go back a long way. How can we change the perception of police officers on both sides? People perception is that Black people don't like the police, but if you look at the police calls, you get more calls in North Omaha. That means they actually trust you, versus you get calls out West Omaha. And being a probation officer, it doesn't mean that crime happened less in West Omaha. That means it's more suppressed in West Omaha, which is the detriment to their women and children. I talk about it all the time. Some people suppress what happens in their families. Some people express what happens in their families. And Black people are emotional people, and they tell, even though they talk about the snitching stuff, they call the police. And so we do have people do testify. People do want protection for the police if they got to testify, they need witness protection. So people do work with the police in regards to undercover in order to get the bad guys off the streets. So we got to get over this perception that we're not working with the Omaha Police Department as well as other entities in this community. Let's be for real. Let's have some real talk. So how can we change this perception to create better community relations? Because you see the incarceration rate is high, but that's not all on police, because that's the judges and the prosecutors that determine length of sentence. And
it's also poverty, and it's also cycles of poverty, cycles of addiction, cycles of crime. So there's a lot of ingredients that are baked into that cake. And it's a great question, because just like you said, crime is a countywide problem. We've got crime, we've got addiction, we've got violence all across our community.
Right.
Now, are there some parts of our community where we have a higher concentration of shootings and homicides? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we always have to be analyzing that data. We have to be making sure that we're not just putting up a social media post that makes it look like we care about the community. We've got to roll up our sleeves. We've got to listen to people. We've got to find ways to work together to actually achieve better outcomes, to avoid those type of situations. And that's important.
Right. Your current chief indicated that he would rather have 1,000 more youth jobs than 1,000 officers. Is that your same philosophy?
Yeah,
also?
that is true. And I will tell you what's even more important than the 1,000 more jobs. You got to have 1,000 kids with strong soft skills and strong labor readiness skills and strong resiliency to be able to take those jobs and keep those jobs. Because here's one thing I know, both as a dad of 4 kids and as a longtime supervisor on the gang unit that actually does roll up my sleeves and try to help families that are in need, that need help either with a new job or trying to break cycles of poverty or addiction, is that the vacuum will be filled. And it's up to us as a community to work with people that need that help the most to decide what's going to fill that vacuum. Is it going to be negativity? Is it going to be drug use? Is it going to be alcohol? Is it going to be, activity that's not healthy? Or is it going to be healthy activity? Is it going to be working a part-time job, working a full-time job, doing volunteerism, cleaning up our community? The vacuum will be filled. It's incumbent on us to figure out what's going to fill that vacuum.
How can you work with, because statistically, and the reason why your chief said that those terms, because they was trying to get more funding for the Step Up program, and it has been proven that when kids get the job during the summertime, that crime has gone down.
That's right.
It has been proven. We got the statistics, but yet we cannot get politicians to put more money into preventive programs, but they'll give $100 million to a new juvenile jail. See, and I could talk like that because I'm a former probation officer. I'm just not a regular interviewer, period. And so how can you develop a new cycle of communication dialogue so we can put more money on the front side, so you can have less on the back side, so we have less in that vacuum that you talked about?
Sure. Well, and you nailed it when you talked about Chief Schmatter and how his view is different than than maybe a lot of your typical police executives. He sees the need to implement short-term efforts to try to stop crime today, keep people safe, but he also understands there's a long game, because we can be the best in the nation when it comes to preventing violence today, and I believe we are. I think Omaha Police, if you look at the numbers, other than this recent spike of violence we're dealing with now, we're still on that downward trend on violence. Our numbers look good, despite the fact that we're dealing with a short-term spike. We're still going down in terms of violence. But he knows, and I agree, and I've learned from him, I think he's the best, that in order to truly achieve that long-term public safety gain, you got to find ways to break those cycles of poverty, which are at the root. And that's why, about 7 years ago, he challenged a lot of middle managers, especially in the gang unit, and said, hey, you're doing everything you need to do to stop violence today, but I need you guys to help us stop violence 10 years from now. Put your head to it. A couple of us got together with other partners. A couple of us got heavily involved in a nonprofit called Nebraska Center for Workforce Development and Education. And that was the goal. What can we do to focus young people in high school and middle school towards skilled trade jobs? And what can we do to expose people that need a second chance, or people from a reentry background, to expose them to skilled labor trade jobs too? Because, William, there's so many jobs out there that need to be filled, that if people just get into an apprenticeship program, they don't need a college degree, and they can be making $100,000 a year within 5 years. And the demand is high. But if we don't help people achieve the soft skills, the labor readiness skills, know what it means and the value of showing up 5 minutes early for work every day, being able to get past your transportation challenges to actually get to work on time every day, help with resiliency so you can get the job done, not fight with your coworkers. I mean, it can pay off big, but we got to do that front end hard work to help people get stronger.
Well, we have a lot of great nonprofits, and I know those nonprofits are building those social skills. So I think it has to be a two-pronged approach. so we can meet each other in the middle.
You're right.
The cost, and the reason why I said it because I'm a black man, and the incarceration rate is we're 50 times more likely to be arrested than any other black man in the country, and that's real data, and that comes from Omaha World Herald. Shouts out to Omaha World Herald for reporting good news, because it's necessary to get that data out. But statistically, black men arrest rates in the country is lower than whites, 3 times lower nationally, but only in Omaha has it risen. And we got 2 sheriffs. What we have one that's running for office, and and our community is suffering. And if we don't come with a different administrative policy where we're negotiating differently, because I'm not trying to put the point fingers, because the arrow goes both ways. We got to make better decisions not to put ourselves in position to be incarcerated. Sometimes we use the excuse of that poverty, and I grew up in the same projects, and I misbehaved. You know what I mean? So no one's perfect. Even rich people, they misbehave. Without doubt.
Sometimes.
So everybody misbehave. No one's perfect. Yeah, that's why we go to church, to get some every Sunday to get some God in us, to get some foundation. So let's not act like we're better than someone else. We're not. Honestly, we're not. And we all have melanin. Aaron just got just a little bit less than I do.
I'm pretty tan though.
But he has gotten darker. He has gotten darker. Wait till January. He's gonna be a little lighter. And so I'm gonna be a little lighter too in January, because it's gonna be less sun. But I guarantee you in July, it's gonna be darker, and I'm gonna be darker. You know why? Because we both have melanin in our skin. I just have a little less. He has just a little less. Come on, y'all. We need to get over these divisions, because we do need protection in our community. We do have bad guys in our community for real, and bad women for real, and we do got abusers in our community. Now the sheriff controls the whole county.
Top law enforcement officer for county government across the county. Yes.
And myself and Aaron, we have a different relationship, so I'm talking to him differently because of our relationship. Now, North Omaha has a high concentration of, and this creates more problems for your officers' safety. We have a higher concentration of halfway houses, higher concentration of sexual predators, and what do you call them?
Sex offenders.
Sex offenders. Mm-hmm. You can find out where they live at on the police website. We got homeless shelters. And now I've never seen this, Aaron. I've never seen Caucasian men walk through North Omaha like drugged out, talking to themselves. I've never seen that.
It's fentanyl.
I have never seen that, and it's scary. It's scary to black people. Black people coming out there. See, this is what's happening in our community, and no one's talking about it. But this creates a problem for you guys, because I went home. I live off of Hamilton. Never had this before in my community, because everywhere in North Omaha is not crime. I live in the Walnut Hill area, and I pull up into my driveway. Is a black guy. He had nothing on. He had just shorts on, and he was just spaced out. I blew my horn, and he didn't react. Of course, I'm not gonna get out of my car because I'm pretty sure he's probably on something that he's making him physically stronger than anyone.
Right.
And I didn't have no weapon at that time, so I stayed in my car. Then, of course, I called 911, and eventually they got there, and he just stayed there, just looked at me. So this is what we're dealing with in North Omaha. They put everybody over here, but they'll put no funding. That makes it unsafe for the officers. They want to go home, don't they?
Oh, they do. Absolutely.
So so politicians got. So how are we going to get better policy? Because when you win, I know you want to be the sheriff. You have a great opportunity to win, and I want you to be a different leader than I want people to write history books about you, for real. And so what are we going to do different? Because we got Caucasian men walking throughout North Omaha, and they be talking loud and they be talking violently and they be scaring people, man. And this is what's happening in our community. It's just not gangs, this and all this other stuff. We got other variables based off of they putting everybody in North Omaha, but yet they don't fund nothing in North Omaha. And so it makes your job tougher.
Well,
not easier.
Like you said, we got to be real. We got to talk about it. And that's the thing. I think too often, there's too many politicians that, again, they like putting up the Facebook post. They like doing the report that says everything's fine, but everything's not always fine. And so
you're on the ground.
That's right. And that's the thing. As someone on the ground and someone who works on policy on the state and local level and also works on the ground as a supervisor trying to implement Chief Schmader's vision, I realize that sometimes those two communications they're not connecting. They're not connecting.
I'm talking when you share, because you share, you got power.
No, you're right. And that's what I was going to say. The communication's key. So for example, let's talk about our schools. Okay. As a gang unit sergeant, as a guy that graduated from North High, I would spend a lot of time at North High because I feel at home there. I feel comfortable there. And a lot of the young men and women that I was dealing with on the streets that were either system involved or they had a higher chance of being attacked or being the next attacker, they would go to different schools in that area all across the city. So when I would go and try to talk to them or try to talk to the SRO or try to talk to their counselor and say, hey, what's going on? How's he doing? I saw this trend where a lot of them are on a half day of school or maybe only going to 2 hours a day of school. William, let me tell you something. This as a probation officer.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the consistency in the structure that's going to help a young man or woman who's in challenge to thrive? Are we preparing them for the workforce? Are we preparing them for a healthy future? No. Mm-hmm. So as sheriff, I'm going to be known at these various school board meetings because I need to make sure that our schools understand that if we're not maximizing the time in our schools when they're their clients, that they will eventually become my clients. And I don't want them to become my clients. I want them being able to leave high school with a driver's license, a job skill, a marketable job skill, hopefully, basic math skills. I got a young man that we, my nonprofit group, we got him into an apprenticeship program. Mm-hmm. This is a young man I chased around 7 years ago with handguns. Today he's doing great. He's working hard, but he's struggling with math. And he told his mentor that school did not prepare him for the basic math that he needed to be in the workforce. We have to come to terms with this because that's an amazing part of actually giving people that strong foundation to be successful.
Well, our kids are suffering right now, mentally and academically from this pandemic, school closures and all that. All our kids are suffering.
That's right.
No matter what. There's a kid I heard brought a gun to Miller North. Yep. It doesn't make no difference what part of the community.
All the way across the county.
Period. There's a school shooting out in Miller South. It doesn't make no difference. See, people always want to put the focus, but it hurts everyone when we put concentrate or non-concentrate in the total community. When we grew up, we had places to go as young people. I mean, we had signals. Well, how old are you now?
48.
So you young. He young.
You got like a year on me.
No, I'm 57, all the way heaven. But I remember back in the day we had places to go with activities for young people to go. Sheriff, I know you said family safety, and that's why I'm on, because family. This to me that's the number one campaign. You don't need campaign on nothing else, because if we're gonna protect the family and do what we need to do for family, then everything else doesn't matter. It puts everybody else in risk. If we don't help anyone over here, it puts our family at risk. And it could be random, just like that one dude killed that one lady just randomly. I mean,
you're exactly right. Let me give you an example. Right on point. So, God, it had to be about 6-7 years ago. We were dealing with spike in violence. And I got together with a couple probation officers, and I got together with Terrence Mackey down at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yep.
And we decided, hey, we're gonna pull together a mom support group. We're gonna take the moms of the most active young gang members. We're gonna get them together once a month, bring them dinner, bring them some gifts, make them feel like they're in a little support group community. Right. figure out what they need, try to get some discussion, see if the moms can be a part of that violence reduction.
Right.
And it was good. I mean, we had great people. Like we had LaVon Stennis, and she'd come out and give support, come out and talk to them about things she could do to help. And a lot of different people coming out talking about different programs that were available to moms. But what I discovered in those meetings was a lot of those moms were struggling with the same issues that the kids were.
Yeah.
And whether it was lack of employment, lack of,
Mhm.
quality job skills, housing, transportation.
Right.
And so to your point, I think we're never going to fix this. We're going to keep kicking this can down the road if we don't look at that more holistic approach
Right,
and
right.
say, okay, you're a mom, you're trying to work hard, you're a single mom, you got 3 kids, 2 of them are gang involved. Are we really helping that family if that mom is constantly worrying about how's she going to pay the rent? How's she going to get to work? Is she going to get pulled over for having a suspended license on the way to work? And what if she's humping a $12 an hour job at a convenience store
Right.
when she should get plugged into a $19 an hour job with the Teamsters Union somewhere?
Right.
So that's where I think we gotta step back, look at the problem, and try to fix it. And I think as sheriff, someone that not only understands the realities of the street, but also understands that redemption and reentry, it's real.
Mhm.
I think I can be a credible messenger to policymakers and push for that investment that
Right.
people know we need.
Well, and I always, as a probation officer, I always wanted to, work a little less. It's always going to be crime because it's always probably about 1% of every subset of people that's going to be mischievous, and so you're always going to, and most of the crime is domestic, and so that's why yesterday we recognized Winning Women Wednesday because domestic violence is the most unreported crime. So violent crime just get reported more, and of course it's more tragic, but it's the small violence every day where we abusing our kids, abusing our women on a daily, constant basis. That happens more constant, and so as a officer, we see a lot of officers are being killed in the line of duty serving warrants. I know Chief Smarter have changed his policy to make sure that his officers are safe when it comes to that approach. Well, where's your approach in regards to making sure that your officers are safe? Because we want to make sure that we have opportunity to recruit more diverse officers in the sheriff department, and so to get over these stereotypes that, especially from the Black perspective or minority perspective, that we don't need to be police officers. Yes, we do. I had a great opportunity being a probation officer. I have great friends still, from the judges all the way down from this day, based off relationships. So it's important. I went to this is off the subject, but I went to a funeral in Memphis to my cousin, and they had like a motorcycle, whatever we call that thing, escort, and then you see all the diverse officers over there talking on the motorcycles. I mean, black, white, and we down in Tennessee in the heart of, and they getting along and riding and coordinating. If they can do it down south, what the heck we doing up here?
Yeah,
you know what I
Right.
mean. So I come back up here and I see the officers up here. We got to have a more diverse force. What's your goal in making that happen?
Sure.
Because you talked about your daughter and bringing a woman. Of course, we need more women because women bring that nurturing.
Yeah.
But also they bring that. Come my mom was 5'5" and she was with no jive.
Yeah.
So they also bring that strength.
Well, I just recruited a female detective to my fugitive team, and she's one of my strongest players for sure. But you asked 2 questions. So number 1, what do we do to make sure that we mitigate the chances of those flashpoint police community interactions? Okay.
Right.
Number 1, I think everyone's got to come to terms with the fact that they will happen.
Right.
And knowing that they will happen, the goal is, how do we make sure that we minimize that risk or minimize that potential as much as we can?
Right.
And so it's a perfect example. Like every day, what I do on the fugitive unit, we plan things out. We try to make sure that we understand, hey, what time are we going to try to make this arrest? What tools are we going to use? What manpower are we going to use? How do we make it safe, not only for the police, but for the community and for the suspect?
Right.
And, there's a lot of times where if we think it's too dangerous, If we think moving in at a particular time is going to push an armed encounter with us in public, we'll walk away from it and we'll come back and we'll find a different time where we think it's overall safer. Because the goal is at risk minimization, knowing that sometimes you can't avoid it.
Right.
So that's number one. Number two, I think that Chief Hudson, the sheriff's office, current Chief Hudson, I think he had a great idea when he wanted to increase the exposure of kids in high schools to law enforcement.
Man, that's a great idea, and because the opportunity exists.
It does, and I think it's important people know early. You get them involved in the understanding of the culture. You get them a keen understanding of the fact that they have to be very careful of the choices they make when they're young, because they can those choices can derail their options for law enforcement in the future. And we're not just talking about committing crimes. We're talking about their credit rating.
Right.
We're talking about not having stable employment, jumping from job to job, or not in a job at all. So I think that's a great idea, focusing on that next generation, really getting that buy-in. But also, we got to look broader. And one thing that is a huge opportunity for us right now, we just changed state law in Nebraska.
Okay.
We made it easier for us to steal away great officers from other communities. We made it quicker. The process is now quicker. It's more efficient. If you're a certified police officer in, say, Minnesota or Illinois or Texas or New York, and if your academy training is similar enough to the Nebraska academy training, and your background's appropriate, and you can pass a physical test, then they'll pass your license over and activate it as a Nebraska officer, and it's fast. It used to be it happened like once or twice a year. Now it can happen almost immediately. What does that allow us to do? That allows a sheriff, let's say when I'm sheriff, that allows me to go to the community and say, hey, folks, help me out. You know a lot of people across the country. Look at Native Omaha Days. Look at how many people come to Omaha Days from all across the country. Where are there diverse and exceptional and professional police where maybe they don't feel as valued by their community as police officers do in Omaha and Douglas County? Give me tips. We'll go there. We'll explain to them how easy it is to bring them over. And then that means we can recruit experienced, mature, professional, diverse police officers from across the country.
Now, I think that'd be a great opportunity to recruit diverse officers for sure. Philly, Baltimore, LA, Dallas, wherever, because like I said, their experience and you can get that diversity quicker.
And imagine if we had the community out there advocating for the Douglas County Sheriff's Office or the Omaha Police Department, going out. Every time you're on a vacation, every time you're meeting family, it's an opportunity for you to be a cheerleader to make our community police department, the Sheriff's Office, more diverse, more professional, and increase our ranks. It's a win-win for everybody.
Right. Now, Omaha, the Birds of Bluffs, we're talking to Aaron Hanson. Brother Hanson, he's running for Douglas County Sheriff. Brother Hanson, how can they learn more about your campaign?
Sure. My website, Aaron Hanson for Sheriff.com. They can go to my website there, my Facebook page. I'm pretty blunt and open on my Facebook page. If you've been following my Facebook page, you know exactly where I stand on issues.
So,
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to tell people where I'm standing.
And that's why I respect them, because some people hide in. I like straight shooters. You know what I mean? For real. I mean, well, I won't say straight shooters per se. People that tell the truth for real.
But there is one thing I really want people to understand, and that is that, are you familiar with our problem-solving courts in Douglas County?
You talk about the courts that give individual opportunity if they got a first offense,
or even a second offense, sometimes a third offense. If they get in trouble, problem-solving courts give them an opportunity to maybe make their charges go away if they follow a regimen or a routine that ends up they're in a better position when they came in than better position when they get out than when they came in.
Right.
Walk away with a clean record or a reduced charge. University of Nebraska has done studies on that, and it's a great effort. It's a roundtable discussion. You got all kinds of people: prosecutors, defense attorneys, judges, substance abuse experts, therapists, probation officers, all sitting around dealing with how are we individually going to help each of these folks in these programs to get better on a one-on-one level. There's no law enforcement, and the best practices say law enforcement should be involved. And that I think is where we have a huge opportunity. Getting the sheriff's office involved, dedicated towards those problem-solving courts, not just supervising people administratively on paper,
Right.
but having the law enforcement officers out there on the streets also helping, saying, hey, let's keep you on the right track. Let's get you out of this successfully. Let's get you into a skilled trade job. I think we're gonna see huge dividends by involving the Douglas County Sheriff's Office directly in those problem-solving court efforts.
Well, I think you need to be in every room. The sheriff office runs the courthouse in regards to security.
Yep.
And so they hear the communications between the inmates. They hear the problems, and so whom better than those officers to participate, because they hear the stories of those inmates. A lot of those inmates are sometimes decision because of lack of money, or they might be high on something, or make a bad decision, but they haven't made prolonged decisions like that. And sometimes you got hardened criminals that are just constantly. And honestly, we need to give. I'm gonna ask this question later, because I'm gonna change the question. I'm gonna change the focus, because of witnesses. If we're gonna decrease crime, we have to protect witnesses. A lot of and I've been a witness before, and I've gotten threatened before. They come to my house, they try to bribe me, and all this stuff. And so witnesses live in that constant threat if we're going to really trying to change the culture of our community. And they give witnesses addresses out so they can get intimidated. We're never going to change this culture, and it makes it hard for you to have people to come forth to get these hardened criminals off the street. Are you, and as a probation officer, I used to have all the addresses of all the gang members. Why can't we give the information out? Why can't we give the gang members addresses out? We give witnesses addresses out. We put their family at jeopardy. We put everyone in that neighborhood around them in jeopardy. I know it's bold. I know it's bold, but we'll get rid of the problem real soon. Real easy. Because right now, I have a great friend that's a detective in Washington, D.C. They know who's killing out here, who's shooting, but you can't do nothing because you got protocol, which is the law. You got to catch them. You got to get the evidence, but they still out here shooting. They still out here causing chaos. Can we give the gangbangers address out?
Well, that's probably. I think that would probably backfire, because number one, a lot of these most active guys are couch surfers, and so what we'd probably end up with
couch servers.
Yeah, we'd probably end up with people saying, "Hey, this dude lives here," and then the ops would come on over and light up a house where a dude doesn't even really live anyway. So I think we got to be careful with that. But I will tell you this: here's what I think we could do. We should know where they're living, because when they're the most active guys, and you're right, it is such a small group of people that are involved in the majority of our crime.
Right.
And so when we get an opportunity, when they get charges, and maybe it's not the shooting charge, maybe we get them on a stolen car when they're driving to do the shooting, or we don't get them on the murder, but we got them with a gun before they did the murder. We got to maximize those opportunities. And so I think we got to look at what Iowa does. And we don't know what Iowa does, because it's not in our culture. But in Iowa, every court district jurisdiction has essentially a community of transitional housing. And it's not a private halfway house. It's not a private 3/4 way house. We just had that story here where they had the halfway house where the sex offender was running it. He got arrested being involved in more, sexual impropriety.
Wow.
But in Iowa, it's infrastructure that's owned and managed by the state, by probation officers, by parole officers. So these guys that instead of just kicking them out of prison or putting them on probation with no place to live, they say, hey, you got a place to live. You have to show up here. You have a safe place to sleep. We're going to help you get a job. We're going to help you get a driver's license. We're going to give you therapy on substance abuse counseling. And then when you're ready to transition out into your regular home, you get a little bank account under your belt so you can afford your down payment. Then you're ready to go. And I think that's a smarter idea when it comes to these higher risk guys that we know have a higher likelihood of committing the next crime, let's get them into that type of condition, either on work release or probation or parole or in a problem solving court where they go, you have to live here. Now you're going to get limited freedoms, but our whole goal is transitioning you into a better, healthier lifestyle, not couch surfing.
Yeah, without doubt, because they put children, they put everyone in danger.
Well, and not only the people that they may put in danger, think about their kids. So if we can increase the likelihood of an individual like that, and again, I've seen it happen. I've been involved in it. I've seen someone that years ago was being shot, carrying guns, and now they're working a skilled trade job.
Okay.
I know that can work. Think about the force multiplier of actually giving that individual the breathing room, the safety, the therapy, the labor skill readiness to actually turn that corner and do better. You're not only helping that guy, and you're not only preventing a crime, you're helping that guy's kids. Where the big payoff comes 10, 15 years.
Now, you're also talking about behavioral health, and I know you've been on the streets. You've been seeing a lot of, you call it, is it fentanyl or
Fentanyl's huge right now.
So what is that making people like really space out and talk to themselves like really loud? What is that?
So, fentanyl's an opioid, extremely powerful opioid.
Okay.
It's manufactured primarily in China. When we're talking about the black market fentanyl, it's smuggled to Mexico and South America, and then smuggled over the southern border.
So why we're not stopping? Man.
Well, that's a whole nother issue.
We need Douglas County Sheriff to go down on the border.
No. But and so when it's smuggled into the U.S., it's manufactured to be pressed to look like Adderall or Percocet or Xanax. And so sometimes we're talking 1 grain of fentanyl is the user dosage to get someone high. And if they accidentally put 2 grain, when I mean grain, I mean like grain of salt size grain. So if the manufacturer accidentally puts 2 or 3 grains in that fake pressed Percocet, then it kills someone. And so you got 2 issues. You got fentanyl addicts, and maybe they didn't start off as a fentanyl addict. Maybe they were just someone that went to girls' night out or at the club, and someone said, "Hey, you want one of these Xannies? I mean, you want this? You want a Percocet? You got a prescription for it. Here's a third." Well, they're not getting an RX pill that they have a prescription for. They're getting illicitly manufactured and smuggled Xanax or fentanyl, and it's not only making people into addicts, it's killing people. I mean, I can't tell you how many parents I've talked to across the county, beautiful kids in their early 20s, late teens, not drug addicts, but they went to a club, they took what they thought was a part of a prescription drug, and they either got addicted or they died of an overdose. It's terrible.
So it only take one time? It only take
one time. One time, and it can kill you on an overdose. Fentanyl is extremely powerful.
So that's why I keep telling y'all, in America, we fighting over here, and our enemies are sending stuff here to kill us. I mean, honestly, but we got to get along. And that's why your position when you win, because I know you have a great chance of winning. It's so important.
Well, but you talked about behavioral health, and that's a big part of it. So let me give you an example. Lincoln just announced the arrest of a homicide suspect. It was a stabbing suspect. Well, I got up this morning, and the Omaha Police Officer Association has access to Nebraska.gov. You can look up any court record on Nebraska.gov.
Okay.
And it costs you a little bit, but it's worthwhile. It's transparency. You can look it up. Well, I went and looked at this gentleman's record for the last 2 years, and repeatedly arrested for misdemeanors. He was homeless. He clearly had an addiction problem. He was arrested for urinating in public. He was arrested for DUI. He was arrested for trespassing. I mean, all these minor things. And what was the consequences? Well, 2 hours of community service, 3 hours of community service, 10 hours of community service at the homeless shelter. This is very likely an individual that was struggling with behavioral health. And what he really needed was a holistic, all-inclusive, maybe a diversion plan or some type of treatment where he has to decide, hey, I'm facing 2 years and combined misdemeanor charges, or I can go into diversion plan where they'll make sure I got a safe place to sleep. They'll make sure that I'm getting substance abuse therapy. They'll make sure that I'm getting job training. I think those are the type of approaches that we need to look at.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot on the table too when it comes to the sheriff's office and their ability to increase their service to the Board of Mental Health.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it, Chief Schmatter has done a great job. He has invested a lot of money in creating a behavioral health and wellness unit in OPD. The sheriff's office should create an equivalent unit to work companion to that unit, but focusing primarily on service to the Board of Mental Health. Those are the highest risk individuals that we really need to make sure get healthy before it turns into the next tragedy out in front of your studio.
When your officers go out, most of the calls are dealing with domestic situations, more like a mental. Are you guys for having we call them mental health therapists coming out on calls?
Yeah, co-responders are great, and that's it's been a great investment. And for whatever reason, and I think maybe just Omaha's got a good culture. We've been very lucky of recruiting, and even more importantly, retaining great co-responder therapists in OPD. And ultimately, I want to create a culture like that in the sheriff's office, where right now they have one. They had one years past, and I think she didn't stick around very long. But we need to duplicate that culture where we make sure that our therapist co-responders feel valued. They're engaged. They feel like they're part of the team, because we want them to be there for years, because you need that expertise in the public that you serve, especially that high risk behavioral health group that tomorrow they may commit a serious crime, or today we can divert them to getting help. We need that type of expertise, because I just read a book, William, and there was a quote in the book. It's called San Francisco. It's about how bad things have gotten in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, all the homeless and just the craziness.
And what the author of the book is trying to get across is that the harm reduction approach is actually creating more harm. That when we're not actually trying to focus on better outcomes, that actually we end up with worse outcomes. And there's a quote in that book that will not leave me, and it is this: we need our social workers to be a little tougher, and we need our police officers to be a little softer. And you know what? Some people hear that and go, we don't need soft cops. No. We need empathetic cops. And we also need social workers and therapists and counselors who are maybe a little less enabling, so that we can have that proper balance, be realistic about the challenge, and actually help people get better outcomes and get healthier. And I think that's a perfect balance.
Yeah, without a doubt. My mama told me, and I still remember, she said, man, that was my nickname. She said, life is hard when you go out and make it that way. So couldn't blame the devil or couldn't blame God at all. And so you had to take total responsibility. And I think that's where it starts. We had to take total responsibility. Once that happens, then we can't use the excuses.
But some people need help and they need mentoring. I mean, there's a lot of people that have never been exposed or never lived a lifestyle like that. And they're the ones that'll say, well, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps and make everything work. It's not that easy. I mean, it takes a team effort. It takes a community working together, understanding how serious the challenges are. Better outcomes are possible, but they're only possible if we're willing to put in the hard work every day and stay at it and actually focus on that better outcome.
Sheriff Wayne had another good idea when I interviewed him. He talked about when you guys confiscate drugs or money or cars, you guys got to send something to Washington, D.C., and they'll give you some money back for programming for the department. And he wanted to use some of those funds to offer some programming for preventative programs where nonprofits can apply for that money. So if like a U-Turn, who is out here, who is a proactive group and trying to help families not go to track of gangdom, whatever you want to call them. Is something like that? Are you open to something like that, where you use some of those funds that's coming back to the community on those arrests, to use some of those funds to help nonprofits, because most of them deal with the behavioral health services, and again, that will help your officers indirectly.
I think it's definitely something we got to keep an eye on and keep an option on the table. But the other thing we got to make sure we're keeping an option, we're keeping in perspective as well is, law enforcement's it's not cheap. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times there's specialized equipment, there's specialized training. We just talked about risk minimization, mitigation. Sometimes training, which also is not cheap and not free. The training that those seized assets and go to equipment, training, things that can actually help make better outcomes without tragedy. So we need to be keeping all things on the table when it comes to those seized assets.
I had no problem with that because that's how it's been in the past. But I'm just asking, how can we do something different to integrate? Because if we keep doing the same thing, our problems have not gotten better. That's what I'm saying. It has not gotten better.
You got to keep it all on the table because don't throw away any option. And because you got to look at, like, if there's an organization out there that is not getting the support that they need, and if they have an opportunity to really make a difference, and some of that seized asset could help them make a difference, and the law says that it's possible to flow some of those assets to them and be able to do everything, then that's great. I definitely think you keep that on the table.
Because you got the police athletic league that need funding. You got all these proactive groups that's out here. You got PACE, that needs money on the pro. You got all these, but they don't get no money. They don't get no funding. So that seized money could help those programs to recruit those young men and women on the front end. So that's all I'm saying. We have to do something different to get different outcomes because our community is mostly affected by the arrest rates, and poverty is a direct correlation to the decision making. People making decisions because of shelter and food.
Sure, and I think sometimes an arrest could be a warning flag that, hey, look, this is an indicator this is a person that needs more help. Maybe they need a good diversion plan. Maybe they need a problem-solving court. Maybe some of them do need to go to jail or prison, depending on the level of the crime. But I think that arrests happen because something's going on in that person's life. Typically, something's going on in that person's life that means that they're in greater need. Either, to your point, if they're stealing a loaf of bread, are you stealing bread because you're just a chronic thief, or are you stealing bread because you want to help feed your kids? And I think we gotta be able to step back and look at everyone as individuals and figure out the best way to approach each one of those cases.
I watch a lot of cowboy movies, and I watch a lot of sheriffs, and the sheriff usually come in a serving because they want to arrest, and they somebody come reports they doing that again, so they got to go handle it. I told them not to do it again, and so first they try to serve. They talk to the individual. They talk to them. They try to serve, and then in all the movies, thank you Hollywood. Then they come in, and they never come in blazing,
right?
Like what's happening to our community. I wish what's his name? Hopalong Cassidy. I wish Hopalong Cassidy was around.
You want Hopalong Cassidy to be the sheriff of Douglas?
Cassidy. Hopalong Cassidy, that might ain't need for the black hat on.
Well, but that's a great point. And here's the thing: the sheriff has to be responsive to the people. Okay,
yeah,
the sheriff, because the sheriff has no boss other than the people.
Right.
There is no. Again, I think we got a great mayor, but the sheriff doesn't answer the mayor. I think we got a great governor, but they don't answer the governor. We got a great city council. The sheriff doesn't answer city council. Doesn't answer the county board. Sheriff answers to one group, and that's the people. So I think that you're right. You got to make sure that your approach is one that is in line, not just with one part of the county, but you're never going to make everybody happy. But you got to be responsive, and you have to be make sure that you're trusted and respected by as many people in the county as you possibly can. And that type of community approaches, I think it's crucial.
Right. All right. What do you want to get across that we didn't talk about? Because we have had a candid conversation, and I know people have appreciated it. It's a fire conversation.
Okay, I want to talk about pretrial release supervision.
Okay, cool.
Because I'm passionate about it, especially with you as a former probation officer. You'll get it. So right now in Douglas County, we have a pretrial release supervision program. It's administered by Corrections.
Okay.
And Corrections does a great job. I think in terms of our corrections professionals, both on the state and local level, we've got some of the best in the nation. There's a reason why you don't hear about mass chaos in our Douglas County Corrections facility.
Mhm.
Things have really evened out on the state level. Now we're paying corrections officers a fair wage, and I think you're getting a lot more peace and a lot better outcomes on the state level.
Mhm.
But on the local level, let's say when someone is arrested for, let's say, an auto theft spree or a burglary spree or cutting off a bunch of catalytic converters or being a felon in possession of a firearm,
Right.
corrections will go to the judge and say, hey, Your Honor, we can supervise this individual. If you give him a bond that he can achieve, says he's got a job, we think we can supervise him safely in the community. And I'm a supporter of that.
Mhm.
The challenge is it's administrative supervision only. There's no one actually out in the community making sure that once that individual bonds out, that he's actually living the judge says he's supposed to live,
Right.
going to work, taking care of his kids, staying sober. I think that there's a huge opportunity for the sheriff's office to be involved in that.
Mhm.
That's across the country. I'll give you a quick example.
Okay.
The sheriff's office down in Pinellas County, Florida. That's at Tampa Clearwater area. And the sheriff down there, he runs the jail and he runs the sheriff's office. That's 95% of
Right.
sheriffs across the country run both. We don't do that here in Nebraska. It's a little different, but that's for another time to discuss. But what he has found is this. At any one time, they've got maybe 500 to 700 individuals on pretrial release supervision. 500 of those individuals may be on an ankle monitor. They work with the judges and they try to tighten up the rules on that supervision pretty tight. So let's say you got the catalytic converter thief,
Right.
and he steals all his catalytic converters at 2:00 in the morning. Well, the sheriff will tell the judge, hey, Your Honor, I can supervise this guy, order him to an ankle monitor, tell him he's got a 10 p.m. curfew, tell him he has to work, tell him he has to stay sober. And what happens is they get released,
Mhm.
and the civilians, like what we're doing now on the corrections side, they'll watch the GPS ankle monitors. They'll make
Okay.
sure they're violating their curfews or abiding by their curfews. They'll make sure they're passing their drug tests. They'll make sure they're showing up for their meetings or helping get therapy. And if there's any warning flags that come up from those civilian analysts, they pass it off to the full-time deputies, and they go out and say, okay, is this an anomaly? Why is this guy out late? Maybe he needed to go to the grocery store to get formula for his kid, or maybe he's hanging out in the wrong place. He's going to reoffend again. It works well. 96% of those individuals under that supervision do not commit repeat crimes.
Wow.
And they get out of that supervision successfully. And that sheriff,
Mhm.
he's saving $94 million a year on unnecessary incarceration costs. Now, we could never achieve that big of savings because our corrections budget is $55 million a year. But I think we could save millions upon millions if we do that balance correctly. Now, think about this, William. If we can duplicate that 96% success rate on guys not violating pretrial release supervision, and it comes down to their sentencing day, and Sheriff Hanson walks in and tells the judge and the prosecutor, hey, you know what? John did great. He followed all the rules. He stayed sober. He got a job. He took care of his kids. What's going to very likely happen on that sentencing day?
Well, he's more likely going to go home and
get probation
yeah,
and
get
maybe get into
probation.
a problem-solving court.
Yep.
What does that mean when it comes to incarceration rates and incarceration costs in the state level?
It decreases incarceration and lowers and help property tax owners around the country, around Nebraska.
And what does that mean for that individual and his family who now has a job and is sober and has stabilized his life? What does it mean for him as a person?
Of course, it brings happiness. It brings happiness within the family.
Breaking cycles of poverty. So I think it's a win-win-win all the way around. I'm passionate about it. We can balance keeping our community safe while at the same time truly being committed to help give people a second chance. I believe it. And not only do I believe it, I will show people we can do it for real.
Well, we need to make sure that we vote. When is vote day?
November 8th.
I think the
Tuesday.
ballots, they mail out the mail-in ballots. I think they came out today, or they may come out next week.
I think they're coming out next week.
Next Tuesday? Is it coming out next Tuesday?
It's pretty soon.
Yeah. So make sure you guys vote. Voting is very important. Aaron Hanson has been serving this community for over almost 30 years now, 26 years. That's close to 30. That's a long time. And he knows the community. He's graduated North High, so he has flavor. He's culturized. You can't say that he was raised around Black people for real and Hispanics. So he's culturized. He knows his community, and so I encourage you to make sure you get to know him. He's a very approachable guy. You hear a lot of stereotypes about him, but you probably hear a lot of stereotypes about me also. Hear a lot of stories, but no, ultimately, no, he loved his community, and we should respect everyone's opinions because it's important to have diversity. That's why America is great. I'm concerned. My only main concern is that we develop a new philosophy on how we make officers safe, diversifying the workforce, the law enforcement workforce, by hopefully, like I said, developing opportunities, conduits opportunities at North Benson to maybe develop law enforcement academies similar to what they do at the ROTC.
Right.
Then that way, that culture it will lessen the negative stereotype of being an officer. ROTC in schools have very high respect.
That's right. And good results too. It's a good pathway to the military.
Yep.
And I think you're right. We need to duplicate that.
Right now, ROTC is the pathway to law enforcement because most of them are usually MPs in the military. Then they come out and be officers.
Right.
It should be the same.
Well, that's
way.
another population we got to really focus on is that military community. I mean, there's a lot of very squared away professional minority members of the community that were born and raised here in Omaha and Douglas County. And I think, we know where they are.
Right.
We know where they work and we know how to get a hold of them. And so I think that's another huge opportunity for us in recruitment, a small subsection of folks with high value that we can recruit.
What's one thing that people perceive that is a myth? Because I want to get rid of all the stereotypes today.
Here's the deal. I've been a hardworking police officer, hardworking supervisor my entire career, and because I've been in the community for all those 27 years, I've never been the guy to sit behind a desk and sit and watch out the window and say, I wonder what's going on in that traffic stop. I mean, I'm out leading from the front. I'm out leading men and women from the front. And so, sometimes that means you bump into people and they're not very happy with the outcome of what happened. But I will tell you this. You talk to most people that have dealt with me on the streets, and they will tell you that, yeah, he may have taken my brother to jail. He may have taken me to jail. But he had a long talk with me about, hey, man, we need to find a way to break this cycle. I've got 3 different opportunities for you to maybe get some skilled trade experience. Here's what you can do. Let me help you get a driver's license. I probably spend more time up around here off duty in the community than I even do at home, just because I'm passionate about it. I'm 26 years. I mean, guys that I went to high school with, I graduated in 92 at North. I got guys I went to high school with whose grandkids I'm chasing right now. So, that cycle of poverty is real. I know it can be broken.
Right.
I know people can everyone can live a more healthy, prosperous lifestyle, support and be honest about what folks need to actually be able to get there. And I'm passionate about it. So.
No stereotype does all crime.
No, not even close.
Okay. All right. So y'all stop that. Stop it. All right. Crime happening everywhere. Brother Hanson, give us a recap on your campaign. Where can people volunteer? Where can they donate? Where can I get a sign in my yard?
Sure.
Where do I need to go?
That's great. AaronHansonForSheriff.com. There's a get involved link. You can click it. If you want to sign, if you want to volunteer, if you want to donate, that's a one-stop shop right there on the website, AaronHansonForSheriff.com. You can also go to my Facebook page. You can go back, read back the history of it. I'm easy to get a hold of too. A lot of people in the community know how to get a hold of me. I guarantee, especially up north, if you don't know how to get a hold of me, ask 3 people around you how to get a hold of me, and it's pretty easy. A lot of people know me up here. So, AaronHansonForSheriff.com, and I'll actually call you back when you reach out.
Without a doubt. And like I said, you can have a very candid conversation with Aaron. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of conversation. Without a doubt. Like I said, he's very, very pacific in this conversation, similar to I am. He's kind of like an agitator sometimes. But you need agitators in order for other people to go in the room to negotiate for real.
I'm blunt. I call it blunt. I like being blunt and honest.
Okay, without doubt. So no, I like people like that around me because you usually get more authenticity. Without doubt, we don't have to agree all the time, but we need to learn to have the skill of the ability to agree to disagree. But also, diversity is necessary because that's why America is great. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you one example why diversity outweighs everybody. So in the Olympics, you got the Russian team. Oh yeah, it's all Russians. They all look like Russians. Russia's way bigger than the United States. Oh, China. Oh yeah, they about 10 times bigger than the United States, and they all look like Chinese. Oh yeah, you got the Hispanics all down. They all look like Hispanics. But when you see an America team, oh yeah, you see Asians, you see Hispanics, you see Caucasians, you see blacks, you see Native Americans, you see a diverse team, and we always at the top of the medal count because of our diversity. So we are the same. We are powerful together. We need every entity of our community, as far as law enforcement, because people do get on substance. People do abuse people. Everything is not gang related, y'all. Majority of crime is domestic, and a lot of it is property crime. And so that's why I asked Aaron, does crime happen everywhere? Yes, crime happens everywhere, y'all. And so we need to get out of the stereotype that nothing happens over here. It just only happens over there. We got to come together. We need to have a more diverse law enforcement. And Aaron's looking for you. If you are a minority, if you want to protect your community and have a fellowship with the remaining community, then give Aaron a call because he's gonna win. He has a great chance of winning. I mean, he's 26 years of dedicated service to his community. It's kind of hard not to weigh that in. And a family man, and his ultimate goal is to make sure that they have the leadership that's necessary to bring this community together. I've always known him to be one to sit at the table, regardless what kind of conversation it is.
I love tough conversations.
Yeah.
Those are the best kind. That's how you break up scar tissue and actually get a better outcome.
And we need people like that's not going to be that can have that tough conversation. We need to have tough conversation in order for us to grow. Period. And I know he's one of those gentlemen that will not run from the table.
Yep.
Period.
Brother William, thank you for the time, man.
So anything that we did, any shots out, anyone you want to thank?
Oh boy, a lot of people. I tell you, the biggest thing I want to speak to is the young men and women that I know that know me out in the community, the ones that I've helped mentor either into a skilled trade job. Stay at it, stay focused. Go to sleep at 9 p.m. and get up at 5:30 a.m. Get ready to make that money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Starting at 6:30. So just that's the biggest thing. I think, I'm so proud, especially of those young men and women in the community that are actually doing the hard work to turn it around and build our community and help make their family stronger and their next generation stronger. That's the shout out that I feel passionate about giving right now.
And for anyone, just look at the YouTube videos where you see all the officers with their body cam and look at the danger that they face every day.
We're lucky to have them. I tell you, Omaha and in Douglas County, a lot of our cops are homegrown. And that means we got a commitment to the community. I don't think that people realize how fortunate we are to have the men and women that we do, which comprise the Omaha Police Department, the Sheriff's Office. You've got people, I'm shocked at how many police officers, how many deputies will give their own personal time constantly to go down and play basketball with kids or go give ice cream out to kids or go volunteer to be a coach or volunteer to be a mentor. It's an amazing thing to watch, and I think we need to keep growing that culture.
How can before you get out here, you like to talk. How can we create a law enforcement broadcast where you create your own show, control your own voice, advocate opportunities for our jobs, advocate that we're looking for this person is wanted. Let people know that we're having a rash of such and such in this area and that we need to keep our head on the swivel. Why can't we develop something like that, Aaron? Because I know you're a trendsetter, baby. I know you're a trendsetter. I just want to plant that because it can get
I think
done.
we absolutely could. And you're the subject matter expert in that, because the content is there, just like you said. Hey, we're going to talk about what's going on with crime. We're going to talk about how to keep your family safe from thieves. We're going to talk about, what parents and grandparents need to know about what to watch out for if your kid's moving in a wrong path, who's wanted, what are the positive stories. That content is there. People want to hear it. They want to see it. They want to consume it. The method of getting it out right now is essentially limited to social media. So with you and your expertise on podcasts
let's start,
and
baby.
radio,
Let's start.
You got all the opportunities.
When you get to W, let's commit to at least coming in once a month, or you can bring in your communication person, and so we can start that dialogue so people can be aware. They can be officers in the streets by making sure people are aware if we got a rash of somebody breaking people's houses at night and hurting older women.
I think that's smart, because then too, I think what's important is you don't just want to talk at people about it. You want to engage a conversation where people come in and go, why did the police do this? Why do police do this? And you can have a conversation about it. Heck, especially you got video and audio podcast opportunities. You could even educate people about the realities of use of force. Here's the deal. My grandma, rest her soul, I guarantee you, if she ever saw me having to use appropriate, lawful use of force on a suspect, she would go, oh my goodness, that looks awful.
Right.
But it always looks awful, but you have to understand that it's appropriate and legal when it is. Those are the type of conversations that we could have to be able to go, folks, we're going to inoculate us against the next high profile incident, especially because we're going to all be better educated about the citizen's perspective and the police perspective. It's a great idea, William.
Well, we're gonna make sure, because the sheriff office is the top law enforcement. Period. They go everywhere. Sheriff. They didn't make movies about police officers, not till later. All the movies are about sheriffs. All the great movies. John
There's a lot about police officers.
No, not until like the 60s. all the first law enforcement officers were sheriffs or marshals, U.S. marshals.
Okay.
Y'all the first two. Police officers that come to the city started getting established and stuff. Sheriffs are the top law enforcement besides U.S. marshals. Y'all can go. Your jurisdictions outweigh the city.
Well, my on-duty life, I am a deputized U.S. marshal, so that's
all right. See what I'm saying? So your jurisdiction is wider, and so you have a greater responsibility in that responsibility, and then also you have greater power, and so we're gonna make sure it happens when he wins. I'm gonna call him, and we're gonna make sure that we create a law enforcement show so we can
be great.
So we can be proactive on helping you guys out.
Well, think about the stories of people come out of the courthouse, the good stories, the sad stories, the stories in the middle. There's a lot of stories to be told that can help other people learn and end up with a better outcome.
Well, see, that's why I like him, man, because he thinks out the box, but he also blunt, y'all, without a doubt. Aaron, man, I appreciate you coming in.
Thanks again.
Without a doubt.
I appreciate it.
Do you say thanks to everybody? You say thanks to your children and your wife and all?
I appreciate thanks to my family. I appreciate I couldn't do this without, especially I don't know how my kids put up with me. I mean, it's I'm trying. I tell you what, working full time and campaigning when I'm done doing that and still trying to be a dad, it's a lot of work, but I think it's going to pay off.
Without a doubt. And you guys, I got to understand, law enforcement officers, probation officers, correction officers, they have families, y'all, and they want to go home. And so we got to make sure that we found the right protocol. We're teaching our children, if they do get pulled over, what they need to do to make the officers safe and make them safe.
That would be a great podcast right there.
You know what I mean?
Alone.
You know what I mean? So we got to go back to teaching and stop pointing fingers at each other. So we're going to do a reset. I'm telling y'all, last year was Robin Hood. This year is Godhood. Oh, yeah, God is taking over every hood, without a doubt. But he needs everybody to participate in making this community better. All right? Aaron, man, I appreciate you coming in.
No problem.
We're gonna take a picture real quick before we get out. I'm gonna put some music on real quick. We're gonna put on. We're about to get out of here. I gotta go to some meetings today. No, actually, before I get out of here, we're gonna talk about that money. They have a meeting today at 11. What's the day? Today is Thursday. Meeting today at Metro Community College over at Fort Omaha. They're gonna be talking about the $300 million, and this could be a game changer in helping law enforcement. Because if we can create jobs, create businesses, it will decrease crime. Come on, y'all. So we got to bring our ideals together. It'll be at 11 o'clock today, 11 to 1 o'clock, building 22, room 201. If you got a business ideal, it's time to bring it forth. If you just have a programming ideal, it's time to bring it forth. They have $300 million. They have to give it away, or it's going to go back to the powers that be. We don't want to send it back to DC, y'all. This is our tax dollars, and we need to do something positive with these tax dollars to make everyone safe. And the only way to do it is to do it. You got to show up and show out. And this is a very positive opportunity. Also, go to OmahaEconomicRecovery.com. OmahaEconomicRecovery.com. You can fill out the application. You got to October 9th to fill out that application to introduce your idea to create jobs here in North and South Omaha, y'all. We're in this community together. I don't know if we're going to even call it North and South Omaha no more. We're going to call it East Omaha. Oh, yeah, we coming together. We're coming together, y'all, with a big hug.
Via.
Boss with us. All right, Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. Man, we just had my man Aaron Hanson, Omaha Police. He's running for Dulles County Sheriff. Make sure you guys go to his website. Came in and hung out with us for a 4-hour. Aaron Hanson for sheriff.com. That's Aaron Hanson for sheriff.com. Also today at 11 o'clock, you cannot miss it. Life in the city, bro. Life in the city. So, Omaha today at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock to 1 p.m. Metro Community College North Campus. They're gonna be at Building 22, Room 201, and they're gonna be talking about the Economic Recovery Act, and they're gonna be soliciting ideas from you. They will be professionals there from Olson to talk about your projects. And so this is the opportunity to be in a room with all the senators that's on the committee that's going to be making those final decisions on what programs or what projects get funded. But you got to be in the room. You have to be in the room. And so I'm telling you where the room is. It's going to be at Fort Omaha, Building 22, Room 201, 30th and 4th Street at the Metro Community College, Fort Omaha campus, 5370 North 30th Street. If you can't make it, you can go to the Omaha Economic Recovery.com. Omaha Economic Recovery.com. You can fill out the application. You have it until October 9th. Take care, brother Hanson. You have until October 9th to fulfill that proposal out. There's over $300 million that they're looking to give to the community to build capacity, to create jobs. This is the first time in the history of mankind, at least Omaha history, Nebraska history, that this has happened. We want to take full advantage. These dollars are allocated for census tracts in North and South Omaha and areas in West Omaha too. Come with your ideas. You have to submit your proposals. Again, the deadline is October 9th at 11:59 p.m. So if you want more information, you have to go to omahaeconomicrecovery.com to get more information, to fill out the application, to find out the criteria of funding. And so they have funding for programming. They have funding for capacity building, also building structures, infrastructure. So next we're gonna I gotta reach out to the other candidate, brother Gonzalez, Greg Gonzalez. He's also running for sheriff. We're gonna reach out to brother Gonzalez. I know he's been an Omaha police officer also for many years. And so since we're fair and balanced, we want to make sure that we reach out to brother Gonzalez and get him on the air. But I know my man, brother Jay Shannon, supposed to be coming through shortly. I thought he was coming through today. They had a program. Conference starts tomorrow. It's one of the biggest young adult. What's going on, big brother? Young adult conference that's going to be happening in the city. It's historic. You know, I can't wait to come in the building. I don't know what I'm wearing. They're gonna have young people. I might have wear Air Force Ones. I don't know. Or I might have bring out some, since we was talking about British Knights. I don't know. I might just, I'm see, maybe I can Google it. Maybe, I don't know, somebody on eBay got some British Knights or something. Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. Again, we want to thank Aaron Hanson for coming in. He's running for Dutch County Sheriff. My man, Brother Wells, said his name was King on the streets, as of Rodney King. Well, life is in the city. I love our people. I mean, I really love our people. Sherman Wells, we love you, man. We're gonna play that Black Power. You know, you got some melanin in them. So yeah, y'all need to have some fun. Y'all need to crack jokes. Life is too short to be mad, y'all.
Please don't be mad.
And then Brother Hanson, he said it true. I asked him. I said, Brother Hanson, I said, does all crime happen in North Omaha? He said, no. Thank you. All crime does not happen in North Omaha. Some areas just suppress it more than others. Omaha, the birds of bless. We got a star in the house. Brother Jay, I just got back from Memphis, Tennessee. My cousin died, and he's a minister. His church is St. Mark's down there. He's a Koji minister, and he was the superintendent of the 41st jurisdiction.
Okay,
so he big up there.
Yes, sir.
And at his funeral, it was so moving because I'd never been at a funeral like that. You had a lot of bishops, a lot of preachers. It was like about 100 bishops, 100 preachers. If I felt like I was in the Vatican.
Why would you feel like you was in the Vatican?
I don't know, because I just seen the Queen. I just saw the Queen.
Oh, was they all in like they had the white stuff on and all that?
No, they had the black. I mean, but they were looking smooth.
They had suits.
Yeah, had all black suits.
I mean, that's definitely not Vatican. That's player.
I know. I mean, I ain't said no.
Don't Vatican me though.
Okay, no, okay.
No disrespect. No disrespect.
No, I'm not talking about that sense of all just seeing all the clergy in one place. And then he was a Kappa. Then you see all the Kappas.
Gang, they was up there.
And I saw the love of what my cousin has done in Memphis, and the love that the church reciprocated, because he was high in the church also. And it's funny that how he was always humble. When we talked for the last couple of years on the Zoom calls, we always crack. Close your ears, Pastor, because I'm saying something secular.
Hold on, your family used to have Zoom calls?
Yeah,
that's dope, bro.
Yeah, for all
That's
my cousins, all my first cousins.
Talk about that. We need help right there. Hold on.
Yeah,
all my families need to get that game.
Yeah,
Tell us how you did that. So
Well,
your family get together and do what?
They do a Zoom call at least, I think, twice a month on Saturdays or Sundays, and we do the WhatsApp app. And so everybody's on there from all around the country.
Or like WhatsApp, and everybody can text and all that.
Yeah, and everybody can watch each other. And so my cousin out of California, he started it and got all the other first cousins and some of the second cousins be on the telephone in and out.
Okay.
And we just been fellowshipping over the last couple of years. So, but cousin Ronnie, who's a minister, he's on the call sometimes, but a lot of times he's doing funerals, weddings, because he's one of the top ministers.
He's doing what he's doing.
So I got a chance to fellowship with him before he passed, because his passing was so unexpected. And he was always so humble, because I never knew the magnitude of work that he's done for Memphis. And I look like I feel like I'm a little him.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny that I didn't know what he was doing, but we're doing the same thing because we got the same blood.
Yeah.
I claim I work for God. I do work for God, but I didn't go to no theology school or nothing like that. But he actually went to theology school, got the doctor, and he's actually a minister and all that stuff. Got a church, but we're doing the same work. And I said, man, God, you works, man, God, the bloodline. And so I encourage people to go visit their families down south, visit their families out east and west. Forget Jamaica, forget all these other places.
Okay.
Visit your family, y'all. Because when I went to Memphis, I got so many cousins on my mama's side, my daddy's side. And then when I'm down in Memphis, you know what they call me? William Jr.
Wow.
They call me William because they know my daddy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I only knew my daddy. I only see my daddy maybe about 10 times in my life. We were having more of a writing relationship because my dad was Air Force. He decided to live in Europe, where we decided to live here. So when I went down there, they call him William Jr.
Okay.
And so, and I got cousins on both sides. I didn't have to go to no fast food spots down south. They actually cook.
Yeah, they do. They do.
I ain't mad.
What part? What down in Memphis?
Memphis.
Oh, definitely.
I was in South Side, the East Side. I was all over Memphis. I run, man. My last name King. I went to Martin Luther King Club and everything.
Yeah.
My cousin, that's my second cousin.
Martin Luther King?
Yeah.
Wow.
Without a doubt. See, I don't talk about all that stuff.
Wow.
I keep telling y'all who I work for.
Wow.
And why I do what I do.
I didn't know Martin Luther King was your people.
Excuse me, BB King.
BB King. You got it. You
Woo! Same thing.
No.
It is.
You said Martin Luther King
It is.
and BB King are not the same.
BB King is my second cousin, but Martha King is part of my bloodline. We come from the same plantation.
Okay, I'm with that.
We come from the same plantation.
I can dig it. Like, I mean,
For
the last
real.
name King is something.
We come from the same. Hey, I tell the truth over here. We come from the same
That's a
plantation.
thing.
What's your last name?
Shannon.
You come from the Shannon plantation.
I did. It was some Irish people that got down with mine.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, it is what it is, definitely.
Yeah.
But the Shannon last name for me is it's weird. And everybody that I know, like I put it this way, my dad didn't know his father. And Shannon, I believe, is my great grandmother's married name. You feel me? She married a guy with the last name Shannon. They divorced. She kept the last name. You feel me? And when my dad was born, that was the name. It was just kind of weird. You know what I mean? Because my grandma's last name, maiden last name, I believe, is Morris or Beasley.
So are you kin too? See, that's why we need to really find.
We do. I mean, I'm saying, I'm just being honest. That's my dad, my father's father, whom we don't know. Their last name, I believe, is Beasley. And I think my mother, my dad's people's last name is Lister, and it's some Morris. But I forget my mom, my grandma's maiden name, but I don't think it's Shannon.
Right.
I don't think it's Shannon. But like I said, I think it was my great grandmother that was married to a Shannon, and we just kept the name. So
okay.
And then, but there's tons of people from Chicago area with the last name Shannon, and we kind of look alike. You feel me? Ironically, dig this. My cousin on my mom's side met a dude that's last name was Shannon, right? They got together, right? Had a baby or whatever. They, had a relationship and stuff like that. So I found out about the Illinois Shannon through my cousin on my mom's side. And then when I saw his family, they looked, man, our complexion looked the same, the cheekbones, like, you know what I'm saying? Just certain aspects of the vibe that I could be like, they could be my people. Could be. But I don't know. And then I got a homeboy named Todd Shannon that live here that we're not related because his last name Shannon is kind of weird like mine. It was somebody's maiden, you know what I mean? It was something like that. But so the last name Shannon is kind of weird. I don't know if the Shannon plantation was that big. That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
I don't know if it was that big. It wasn't as big as the Kings and the Browns and the Jones and the Mitchells. They had something popping.
Right. We have big plantations.
Huge. They were getting that bag.
Well, it's time to get the bag tomorrow, y'all.
Oh, come on.
It's time to get the bag tomorrow. Tell them how to get the bag tomorrow, because the bag is not it's knowledge, because when you have knowledge, it's going to bring the physical dollars.
Definitely. Wisdom is what it is. At the beginning of wisdom has to be a reverence for God. Once you have a reverence for God, then wisdom can come, right? You can really understand what's going on. But dig this. I got a big announcement, man. You ready?
What's that?
I wish I could touch my phone. I shouldn't have went on live like that because I know I need my notes.
What you
phone
dead or something?
No, it's right there. I'm on live, but I'm saying I wish I would have kept my phone, or I would have, you know what I mean?
Right.
So because I need them notes. Look, and David ain't here. It's tough. So dig this. We do have a big announcement that I can remember off the top of my head. You watched the show on Showtime, The Chi?
I saw previews. I really don't watch.
You ain't got Showtime?
No, I really don't watch.
You don't watch
Stereotype.
Stereotype?
I don't like Stereotype.
That's not Stereotype, bro. I don't mean, come on. I watched the first season. Stop doing that. Come on. The Chi is a good show, I guess.
I guess I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? You know who Yolanda Ross is from The Chi? You know she's from Omaha. She's like one of the main characters on The Chi, and not outside of you, right? Because you are one of the minorities in this situation. Because a lot of people watch The Chi.
Yeah, I really don't watch a lot of TV. I'm trying to build stuff right now.
I dig it. I understand.
It's a time for everybody. Y'all watch TV. I'm building stuff.
Yeah. And we're not shaming you for watching TV. It doesn't make.
Yes, we are.
No, you're not.
Because we need to be writing proposal. We need to be writing proposal for that $300 million right now.
Facts.
For real. 11 o'clock the meeting.
Facts.
No more TV. You need to be at the conference tomorrow. No more watching TV.
Please go watch The Chi on Showtime. If you like The Chi, if you watch TV, if you like The Chi, there's a lot of people that watch The Chi.
Well, if she's from Omaha, we got to support her.
Yeah, man, bro. A lot of people. It ain't about we need to support her. She is already a mega star, bro. She did Antoine Fisher. She was in like a lot of movies, bro.
Good.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
She come back?
Yes, I believe it. Hold on. That's why I need my phone, bro, so I can read the bio. She is coming. She's going to be our facilitator, one of our facilitators for the arts breakout.
Okay.
So every one of the, I think the camera went off on your joint.
Okay.
The when the kids are at the conference, they'll be able to select, like we've said thousands of times on the show. they'll be able to select their pathway. You know what I'm saying? The pathway they want to choose. Arts is one of them. And she's going to facilitate or help the young people and share her story, her advice, anything that she can share with the young people about what it is to be a professional artist, right? And I think she's gonna have some dope insight. I've heard some amazing stories. I've had the opportunity to talk to her and meet her before, obviously. And when we've done so, she has given me insight and respect to the movie game and TV game that just I would have never thought. And I think young people definitely need to know and understand there are so many jobs in the industry of art and creativity, right? Like the ones that you feel like you want are very, very limited. You feel me? Like to be in front of the camera is one thing, but it's probably like you might see two people on camera. You feel me? And every last one of them are successful. They making money. They doing it and they're happy. They're fulfilled, art, like creativity wise, artist wise. It's an amazing situation. So her insight, her information is going to be priceless. You need to make sure you're there. I don't have my notes, so I'm gonna highlight some of the people that I can think off the top of my head. Of course, in the civics room for civics and justice, we're gonna have. I'm gonna say his name wrong, so please forgive me. We're gonna have a good brother that is our sheriff. Is gonna be there.
Hudson.
Yes, sir. Leo Lewis is gonna be in the room. And one of our elected officials. I know so many of them, but preferably one of our elected officials will be not preferably one of our elected officials will be in that room as well. Let me think. So we got Dr. Lucy Woodard. She is one of our fine black doctors, black female doctors, and I think I want to make sure that I emphasize that is because there's a group of black female doctors that prayerfully they'll all, as many of them that can show up, will be there as well. But that's something. Dr. Lucy's story is so dope. It's ridiculous. She's going to share a little bit about the journey to becoming a medical doctor in that same room. If you have interest in the health, we're going to have Pastor Patrick Sanders is going to be there. He is a pharmaceutical rep. I don't want to mess up the company he works for, but you definitely want to hear what he has to say. And Kenny McMorris from Charles Drew is going to either be there or send a high-level representative. I think he has something to do real important to pivot, but he's been walking with us through the whole journey. So shout out to the Capitol, shout out to Charles Drew. In the tech room, we got some heat there. I'm gonna save that, but we got some real heavyweights in respect to the tech world. Because even if I say their name, you probably won't know who they are. Right. but just know that these people, again, the idea of us bringing these professionals right to the table is so that young people can see how long the road is in respect to what you can do in these little places of interest. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be an amazing situation. We went all the kids' favorites on food, so please know you're going to have an amazing time. We got the pickup sites starting at I believe 9:15 at North and Benson and Central. I hope I'm not butchering it too much. But the pickup sites are there. Do me a favor, go to livenext.org, livenext.org. Register there. You can still register. You can still jump down, even if you can register on your way tomorrow. We just want to know you coming, and we want to definitely be prepared for you. If you don't have access to the internet at the moment and you can't get to registration, just come on, get there. You know what I'm saying? We're going to continue to post all of the information in respect to the pickup locations if you need a ride. If you're connected to Boys and Girls Club, if you are connected to Urban League, if you are connected to the 100 Black Men, if you're connected to the Step Up program from Empowerment Network, to the Youth 360 program from Empowerment Network, all of your representatives should have already been contacting you about this wonderful conference taking place tomorrow. So you should be able to tap one of them easy, and they can get you exactly where you need to be, show you what you need to do to make sure you are in the place to be. So this starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow at the Better Together campus, right there for 45th and Bedford. Make sure you're there. It's going to be something crazy. I can't believe it's going to give you a little rainy. We had plans to do some stuff outside, but we already had it planned just in case we had some weather. So yeah, it's supposed to be terrible tomorrow. This a little bit during the daytime, but it's okay. We got like
the Jazz.
Yeah, the literally the campus is so large. We're having it there for that very reason.
Right.
If we could utilize outside, that would be dope. But if we can't, we have so many spaces to put the young people. It's going to be an amazing situation.
Great.
So Friday is the theme. Friday is the vibe. Friday, make sure that you are there tomorrow. No, what's today? Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Better Together. At 10 a.m. Yolanda Ross is probably our highlight outside of the city of Omaha that is going to be there. She's an amazing person. Trust me. Young people that are interested in any facet of arts, whether that be music, acting, modeling, makeup, physical,
fashion,
visual arts, from digital arts to painting to whatever you find your hands to do to give us some joy through creativity. Definitely you want to be in the building for that. All right.
Without doubt.
And Saturday, you already know what's going pop. You already know what's popping.
Well, Saturday, you got the dance competition.
Yeah.
I mean, you want some energy, y'all. If you guys want to learn how to dance, you gotta come and watch how people dance these days. Young people, they be doing some acrobatic stuff these days.
Acrobatic. Look. The dance competition is getting heated.
Mm-hmm.
We got dance groups from all over the city. I'm talking about in a real way too. We got them from way on South 84th.
Okay, all right.
We got them
West Side.
We got them from way just Southwest Omaha, East Omaha, West Omaha. The dance competition is going to be something to be seen. Trust and believe. If you're connected to a dancer, you're connected to anybody that you know what I'm saying. In reality, let me say it this way, bro. Let me say it in a real way. Like, we're putting on a show.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're putting on a show.
It's gonna be a big show too.
Like a show.
Mm-hmm.
Like hold on.
You got my man.
Like a show.
You got my man
D1,
yeah.
Indie Tribe, Andre Wright.
Yeah, Andre Wright.
And then the dance comp. Look, when I'm telling you, look, hold on, let me say it this way. No disrespect, right? Y'all spend a lot of money on tickets, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all go watch a performer, you feel me? And you hope that it's a show.
Right. You hoping.
Right? Mm-hmm. You hope they got a band or some kind of, you know what I mean, to make it look like you see on TV when you go to a show, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get there, it's not like that.
Right.
Right? Now, you're a promoter. You're a promoter.
Right.
So when I talk this talk, you know what it is. You done shows.
Yep.
Sometimes promoters be like, hey, get the artist, you know what I'm saying? Come on, let's make it. You don't have to do what they do, right?
Right.
For this occasion, right? And most promoters, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, you put most of your resources in trying to get the artist. You want to make sure that the artist is a big enough draw, you feel me, to get people to come and have an amazing night. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I've been to them. I play.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yeah.
When I'm telling you we're putting on a show, that means that we are pulling out all the stops, bro.
Yeah, without doubt.
It's like we want to present the young people in a way that they have never, ever seen before, right? A lot of times you could, the nonsense or the mainstream wants to paint this facade like some of these young people's greatest dreams are to be on the big stage and with all the big lights and the big in the arena. You feel me?
Right.
So Saturday, we're going to fulfill some of those aspirations real quick and show them how easy it is. Like, if you work hard, you do what you do, and you can see it, and then they'll realize maybe that's not all I need to, fix my life on. Maybe life can be bigger than just something that I experience. You're going to take pictures. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be, what we're trying to create is an opportunity for young people to be like kids.
Right.
And happy. You feel me? Like, that's what it is. So when we say we putting on the show, we trying to put on the largest platform for your young people to look amazing, man. Like, if you've been to a dance competition, I'm going to talk my talk. I've been to dance competition. I've been to expensive dance competitions for the what's-your-name people, right? I done been to Kansas City.
Right.
I done been everywhere because my daughters dance, right? So I got to see what it cost. And hold on, let me say this. The money that they be making, you feel me, right, is crazy. And I was like, hold on. They charging all of these kids this? Just to be able to, you feel me?
Do something that they love to do.
Just, I'm like, that's not, I ain't gonna say it's not fair, but I'm just like, oh, we got to make it different. We got to figure out a way to give them all of the, you feel me?
Yeah, I mean, hey, you got to be able to create a conduit of opportunity
there
out
you
of that.
go.
You just can
Yeah.
exploit them and make money off of them,
Mm.
and not develop opportunities so them to have acting roles or
Nah.
dance for one a big star or whatever, whatever the aspiration is.
You want pure. You want it to be pure. You want it to pure confidence. You want it to
Period.
pure esteem.
Yep.
Without it being, you know what I'm saying, convoluted in somebody else's desires. Like you said, you being exploited or using somebody. You want it to be good, clean, pure esteem.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's godlike. And you and you get blessed. For those that try to exploit, they only last for only a little bit of time. God will take them out. Take them out, God, real quick.
No, come on.
When none of our kids exploited for real.
Hey, no, that's real. I won't
but-
speak nothing like that, but
yeah,
I would say
so-
that definitely that's not. If you read what you sow,
Yeah, without a doubt. So, but tomorrow and Saturday, if you want to have your children around some young men and young women around some wholesomeness, the opportunity to manifest their God-given talents on the artistic side, because we live by the story, and even writing the story is artistic, y'all.
it is. It's telling your story. It again. That's the whole vibe. That's why we have to understand how harmonious we are naturally, bro. We are communal beings naturally. We want to be together. We want to hear the story. That's why we get intrigued, like you point at the TV. That's why it's so easy for our attention to be, you know what I'm saying, taken by just a small thing. You feel me? Some of us like the worst TV. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but some of us are entertained by the weirdest things. Right. Or it's a story. Like let me say this. This is the weirdest thing that I be jumping on. This is the weirdest social media thing that I do not understand, right? But I don't get it. Like there's these little things that pop up on, I think it's like Facebook, right? It's got to be Facebook, or Instagram. They're always sponsored. I don't follow this.
Okay, sponsored.
It just pops up,
Right.
of dudes cleaning rugs. Have you seen this before? I don't know why I like it, bro.
I don't know.
But
I
it's like
think I probably skip by it.
So they show you a dirty rug.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is. And the dude, it's like a 5-minute video of a guy cleaning the rug, bro. He put his stuff on it, water on it. And I just be like, wow, that's amazing. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like that, like that. But I guess the point of that is like how intrigued we are by a story.
Right.
We all, because again, it connects us. You dig what I mean? So if I can be intrigued by this man, right, clean this thing, like, man, I'm cheering him on.
Right.
Like, come on, man, get that thing right. You feel me? Like, I want to see what it looked like when, before, while it was filthy and dirty and grimy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then at the end of the video, it looked new. And I'm like, oh, that's dope. Now, I'm a goofball, though. I told you. So that's entertaining to me.
Right.
But stories connect us in such ways that it gives us the groundwork for the relationships of love. You feel me? The foundation of love, for we understanding, right? Compassion, right? You know what I'm saying? The first commandment that we have unto God is to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. But how can you love someone if you don't know them? That's why we're so intrigued by the story. That's why there are radio stations. That's why there are TV. That's why this social media apparatus, when done in good taste, you know what I'm saying, can connect us. That's why when you said jumped off at the beginning of today's show, it was like, you was talking about your cousin, but one of the things that intrigued me the most was like, but my family, we Zoom twice a month. You feel me? Now, that's technology shrinking the world for us, right? And now the reason why I wanted you to repeat it is because that's dope. You feel me? I want to try to do it. Right? When you was like, we on WhatsApp, me and my family do this. Now, in my immediate family, we got that. But I want that with everybody. Yeah. I want that with everybody, like across the nation. That would be super dope.
Because when you're traveling, I mean, it's so good to go with around family. You feel that extra love besides your internal family. That man, I felt so much love down in Memphis. I know y'all want to talk about the crime, but it's love in Memphis also.
Yeah, man. That's the mainstream nonsense. But I don't want you to ignore it. I don't want you to ignore the violence. I don't want you to be so siloed in your culture that you ignore what is happening outside of you. Like, if you want to ever define one of the things that you've heard for a long time as a kid, that is the perfect definition of you can't see the forest for the trees. You feel me? You are so engulfed on this. Right? You're intrigued by the things that are momentarily, like in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you know what I'm saying, that you can't see the broader situation. You're siloed inside of a culture that you created. You feel me? And you won't allow yourself to step out of it to see what's actually happening. You know what I mean? So like, You have to be aware, but you also have to be grounded enough to understand that what's being seen in a society based upon supply and demand always has an ulterior motive. You feel me?
Right.
Nothing is like the only thing that's good and clean are the things that you know what I'm saying, understand are foundationally principled in the things of God, right?
Right.
And that's why the world tries to make it seem as if the things of God can be forgotten, is because he wants you to be distracted and confused, right? Because in distracted and confused states of mind, chaos can come. But when we're thinking, you feel me, it's very difficult for chaos to prevail.
This is off the subject, but I was poking fun of my good friend and my colleague. But also, I'm thinking about writing this sermon. What's a sermon? The sermon is the devil is using God against God. And the reason why I say that because
who do you tell that to?
I said it to my homeboy brother Muhammad.
Oh yeah.
And the reason why, because when I went, my experience down in Memphis and seeing that, man, down south they really love God down there. They really do. However, you know, we're still divided because we don't support Black Muslims, we don't support the Black Jehovah's Witness. We got all these different churches, and I said, and everybody want to be number one, and all of them said they got one God. They all praying to one God, and so, but they don't fellowship with each other. All of them said that we're the top religion, and I said, well, I said, man, the devil. I said the devil is using God against God.
Shit.
I said, man, the devil, man, but devil, I recognize you, devil. See, that's why. See, man, I came back a different man. I came back a different man because my cousin shut down Memphis. While y'all watching the Queen, I was with the King. We shut down Memphis. He shut down 240. Man, I'm telling you, he had the what do you call it? Police brigade, whatever you call them. They shut down the highway, and as soon as we passed it, let the people back on the highway. So we had a funeral brigade that had the whole highway following.
That's dope.
They couldn't even pass us. Oh man, it was y'all talking about the Queen. I'm talking about the King. We shut it down. So I saw the love for his hard work and dedication, but at the same time, I still see division because people we still got all these separate religions. And we don't fellowship together. We backbite each other. And all this. And I said, dang, I said, man, God, just put it in my heart. I said, God, the devil is using God against God.
That sounds
church against the church. He's using each church against each other. And I dare anyone you churches say that I'm wrong.
Well, I would say that
the devil is using the church against the church, and right now that's the downfall. The Republicans and the Democrats, all of y'all are part of making our community non-safe. You heard it here, Forever New Hope, the only hope you got. For real, the devil is using God against God. And he's winning right now.
He's not winning.
He's winning.
Nah,
he's winning.
Nah. Hold on, let me make sure you hear this clear.
Tomorrow
let me make sure,
Saturday he won't be winning.
No. Let me make sure you hear this clear, real clear. All jokes aside,
okay.
The enemy is a defeated foe. Only a fool that could believe someone that's already been defeated can walk around as a champion. You feel me? You've been defeated. Been defeated. Been defeated. No. So you can pay attention to, again, the paper champ walking around as if he has victory when we already know God is undefeated. So he is not winning by any means. But I would say this: what you say is true. There is obviously, but it is basically sensationalized. But we on the radio, you know what I'm saying? That's what we're supposed to do. It's supposed to sound good in the extreme. But in reality, division is running amok through all of humanity. Yeah, that is the oldest trick in the book. It's called divide and what?
Conquer, but
so don't drag it out. Make it simple. Why? So divide and conquer. So
devil has divided different religions to conquer.
No, listen to what I'm saying. I understand why so let's take religion out of it.
Well, you can't take religion out of it.
You can. Listen what I'm saying.
How?
You don't know what I'm about to say.
Okay.
First.
Okay.
So let me watch. You don't have to. You can put any subject you want up there. When I say you could take religion out of it, you feel me? You can put whatever you want. You can put sports. You can put whatever you want up there. You can put it up there, and I can show you thousands of situations where division is implanted in the foundation. You feel me? It just is what it is. So we can't say that, oh, the devil is using the church versus the church. No, the enemy is attempting to use humanity versus humanity. He's been trying to divide you since the beginning of time. He wanted to put conflict in every single aspect of your life. He wanted you to feel like you were all consistent since Cain and Abel. When the enemy, when sin was looking at Cain, you know what I'm saying, seeing what he was going to do, you know what I'm saying, that is the beginning of conflict, right? But so you can't say that it only lives in one of the institutions of what this system that we created, but it does exist throughout the institutions that have been created in the system that we have.
There's 3 systems or 2 systems. They best describe it on the Godfather. Well, 3 systems. You got the criminal system.
I'm with you.
They usually go to the Pope and negotiate, and the Pope go to the other criminal, the politician.
Yeah.
So y'all the 3 criminals: the criminal, the church, and the politicians. But the top criminal is
what was the third one? You said the church, the what?
The criminal.
Oh, the real criminal.
Real criminal.
And what else? And government?
The church, because they usually.
You already said the church. You said
and the government.
Oh, the government.
The politicians.
Okay. I said 3.
They control all the church control the people.
Yep.
The criminal control the black market, and the politicians wash it up with their laws, hide it behind their laws, because they sent Martha Stewart to jail for what's called, but then they changed the laws for insider trading.
Yeah.
So
I would say this. This is the dope part about having hope and understanding. The dope part about understanding that what you see, right, is always subject to change. You feel me? Everything you see is subject to change. So let me say it this way. So you could say this, and everything that the good brother just said has truth to it, because we can see it with our very own eyes. You know what I'm saying? But when we talk about government, democracy, and here's another scripture that's coming up: what the enemy thought was going to be evil can turn out for good. The Bible says that. So you could put up a system that's based upon the people, and then you could try to confuse the people, right, to where they don't understand how to use the system that was created to benefit them. You feel me? Democracy, government, right? I don't want to say government, because even in the word government means to be governed by something above, and I don't think any man-made situation should govern us above how God governs us, right? How we are aligned with our Creator, right? But that's me. But keep going, watch. So even in the democracy, the system, government, whatever you want to call it, right, it's subject to change because it's based upon laws that are created by us, the people. At the municipal level, on the city and the state level, we have the ability, right, to pick and choose who we have to represent us, the people, from the neighborhood, right, all the way to the council, to the commission, you know what I'm saying, all the way to Washington, right?
Right.
If we do our job, we determine who's in Washington, who's making those decisions. In turn, that has an impact on what happens on our doorstep.
Right.
You feel me? If we choose to grab a hold to the wagon of they this and they that, and we choose to be ignorant of how to evolve our system, but we are profound in the negatives of our system, and we are educated in all the nonsense of our system, and we spend so much time finding out all the negatives and bad things of our system instead of trying to evolve within the system that is popped off, right? Then we'll continue to find ourselves hopeless, right? But the moment we see, just think for a second. Hold on. You mean to tell me that the person that goes here and says this, I can have an impact, me personally, me and you. Look, me and you individually can have an impact on who goes and says what, right? So there's government. So I have a part to play in that. So if I want it to change, then I have to change it. Second thing, let me keep going. So the church. Now, I will say to you with conviction that there is one God, one faith, and one baptism. Are
you sure?
There's one God, one faith, one baptism. I'm just saying this is what I believe.
Okay.
I'm saying right now, I'm not gonna say I can't go into what you've heard, what you say, you know what I'm saying, what you believe, but I'm saying you ask me, I'm answering the question.
Well,
so, and then you said it in your argument. You said y'all all say it's one God, one faith, one baptism. That's what you said.
Y'all said.
I'm with you. What you said. And you believe it too. It is what it is. It is what it is. So it's one God, one faith, one baptism. Now, what you said, what you threw in the game was real too. Watch. But it's 15,000 people trying to act like they know the best path to this same thing.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now that's the doo-doo in the game.
Right.
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 But again, it's doo-doo in the game everywhere.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
But in the Bible, in reality, here's the part that really mess you up. God never called you or required you. You feel me? To join a gang.
Right.
He never said you got to be Baptist. He never told you to be non-denominational. Never told you to be Catholic.
Right.
Never told you to be Presbyterian. Never told you to be Lutheran. Never told you to be Kojic. Never told you to be PAW. Never told you to be any of those things. Right. You chose that gang. You chose that. You feel me? His requirement is that you love him with all your spirit, your soul, and your mind. You feel me? And to love your neighbor as yourself. You feel me? Those first things. And then once you understand figuring out how to love him with all that you have, and then you treat this reciprocity, this justice between me and you, this harmony. If I love you like I love me, then all of that can work itself out. Now, because we are communal beings, because we are communal beings, just because we are, bro, we're automatically going to click up. We're going to unify in small pockets.
Yeah, like a herd.
We're going to do it.
Yeah,
it just is what it is. We're going to tribe up. Right. You feel me? I'm going to go over here with you. You're going to go over here. You feel me?
Right.
And because of that, we're going to have whatever we're going to have. Conflict is going to be conflict. But the thing is going to be this, because the Bible again says, we're supposed to walk around like we never can get mad. We're supposed to get mad, but not sin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You put things in parameters. You're supposed to not covet your boy's wife. You're not supposed to be jealous of what he has. You're not supposed to be any of these things to get you to the point where you want to kill him.
Right.
Because if you murder him, you come against God. You hate him, you tripping. So don't even get there. So watch. It could be tribal. We can be, you know what I'm saying? We got all the wonderful things that come with us being human beings and this connection, the stories that we get to tell, like us getting to know each other, the progress and the road to real relationship. Like come on, that has ups and downs and valleys. Right. Come on now, right? So because of that, you feel me? You have organizations that made, different things, and they decided to do this, and we're going to go over here and do this. The only time we are in error, right? And you can see it visibly is when we try to put the organization above God. See, when the culture, right? When the culture, when what we create. That's probably what my problem is. See, when you start putting the things that you created, right? Now, the Bible talks about this. If you read it, there is no conspiracy. Look. If you really read the Bible, there's no conspiracy. Everything that you talk about, and they doing this and they doing this, is already in the Bible. See, instead of reading the Bible, you reading the mainstream. How can you read? You feel me? How can you be so caught up again? You can either understand how it really works, or you can get caught up in what they telling you. It's your choice. You feel me? And if you believe the nonsense, you will believe all of the stuff that's happening in the world that God doesn't know, that he doesn't understand, like he doesn't seen it thousands and thousands. Because again, he created us. Feel me? The reason why you can connect with your ancestors from, you know what I'm saying? You can see your cousin that's this, you know what I'm saying, generations past you and still see that connection in family is because he created us that way. You feel me? So again, you see people split up and do those things based upon their own rules, them trying to set precedent their rules, right? The moment we do that, we are in error. The moment that the culture, right, is over God, we're wrong. Right. God is the unifier. He is the connector. He is the thing that takes all of the fabric of who we are, right? Because he didn't create us to be all the same. We're not supposed to look exactly the same, wear the same outfit. He made us all like so unique and specific, like our finger. Like, come on, man. Come on. He made us so amazing so that when you put us together, we make a knit of something that is amazing, bro. Without doubt. That's the vibe is for you to be different, but for me to love and appreciate your difference. You feel me? Yep. So that we can be together. Without doubt. Now, because of greed, because of sin, right? Because of our enemy that wants to look like a sheep, but he really a wolf. Right? He's jealous of the freedom that we can have in God. He's jealous of the fact that we can come to God humbly and understand who he is, and he can't. So he's gonna be mad. He's jealous of our harmony. He's jealous of the fact that we can do what he can't do. So that means he is going to do anything he possibly can to deter you from understanding.
So let me ask you a question there, and then we're gonna talk about the event.
Got to. So because you done got me all.
So will God forgive the devil?
Will God forgive the devil? I don't think the devil will position himself to ask for forgiveness, because the devil is not an entity like me and you. He's not a human. He's not created by God like we are.
I'm asking because
I mean, you just asking, will God forgive this camera? I mean, what you asking me? Where camera? I don't think that's just so hypothetical. Why would the enemy? Here's why. This is why.
Because even the devil's still from God.
No, G. The reason why that's boo boo, and I'm not saying it. I mean, it's just because it doesn't make sense. Because why would the enemy position himself for forgiveness when he believes he is God?
Well, we're in destruction because they talk about nuclear weapons right now. So
what does that have? But you.
So
how does nuclear weapons? Where you pull that out, man? Where you like? Oh, and you know
because that's reality. That's the environment that.
But
we had a potential of going to that destructive level. And
I know, but the question on the floor was, you asked me, will God forgive the devil? And then you went to nuclear war.
I said.
I just said, but why? The reason why I said that question is hypothetical. It won't ever come to existence because if the devil believes he is God, what in order for you to be in the
nothing would ever change. That's what I'm saying.
No, G, no. Nothing will ever change. It's not a statement. I'm saying that if the only way you will be in position to ask for forgiveness, you have to feel like you're wrong. Feel me? And if you believe you're God, then you don't believe you're wrong. And if you don't believe you're wrong, then why would you ever need to be asked? Why would you ever need to request forgiveness?
Well,
you feel me?
If
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. But if that's so, then nothing's ever changed. It's going to continue.
How does it? What is that? Why does that give you the idea? Because the devil won't ask the Lord for forgiveness, that nothing will ever change.
No, because the world.
I told you he was defeated already, so it doesn't matter how he feels. It matters how you think.
No, I look at the environment.
And you believe that's showing that the devil is winning?
No, I don't watch.
You say you don't watch TV. You say you ain't watch TV.
I watch news.
I'm with you.
I watch.
And you believe the news is showing you that the devil is winning?
Yeah, without a doubt. Because right now, I just had a lawyer here yesterday that's running for Dulles County attorney.
I'm with you.
And right now, there's women getting evicted without no representation. So they develop a team of lawyers that's volunteering to represent these women and men that's been evicted, and they represent them. They started this system moratorium. No one else came to help them. So these families are getting pushed out in the streets. I'm talking about real life. I'm talking about real life because I get the calls from the jail. I know we want to talk, like everybody else, like they said unemployment is only 2%. No, it's not. It's not 2% in Omaha because those that are black,
the people that were charged, the people that are voiceless,
right? So
the widow, the orphan.
So I'm a realist.
That's why we out here.
I understand theology, but
that's why we got
my radio station is the lab because theology didn't have a lab when I was in college, and so I got people that flying in from college and. I studied everything. Everything had like my psychology class, my sociology class, my geology class, my biology class. They had labs so I could test my theories and hypotheses. And so I love and the reason why I love talking to you because you're young, but you're very smart and your perception, your vision is intelligence. It shows intelligence.
Okay.
For real.
I would say I think it shows faith in God. I don't consider myself super intelligent.
No, I'm just saying as far as just the way you communicate and your thought pattern, it's intelligence. Obviously you've read something,
the Bible.
And so if you're able to comprehend, and so obviously I tell everybody I cheated in religion because my religion class I got tired of hearing about Caucasian religions and history, honestly, because
what's a Caucasian religion? What is one? Name one. I want to know.
All of them.
All of them are Caucasian.
What religions were created by a black man?
I'm just trying to say.
No, I'm gonna ask you.
Is the word Caucasian even real?
Well, I'm just using it. It's because it's a biological term.
Hey, let me say this, man. I love. Hey, look, please trust and believe that me and Bill King is good, bro. Man, like trust, like this is we could turn these cameras off and we can have this conversation for a while. You understand me? But let me say this, because we not in jest because we talking about something that's real.
Yeah, okay.
So
and then we want to get back because because he's gonna be a future somebody.
Am I?
Yeah, you're future somebody.
Man, all right.
I think you're a future bishop or somebody.
All right.
You might be running for Pope or something.
Running for Pope? Bill, what are you? Hey man, I want to be whatever God tells me to be. Whatever God has for me to be, that's what I want to be, bro. Nothing else. Nothing else. So let me say this. So, so I'm trying to remember which question you want me to answer first, bro. You said like 5 different things. Let me say this: the enemy is defeated, and what we see, the Bible even tells us that we will have tribulations. There will be situations in life, like you know what I'm saying. And I'm not. I'm definitely not no hocus pocus, you know what I'm saying, blowing smoke type of dude. But I am somebody that lives, you know what I'm saying, day in and day out, unashamed by faith in God. I truly believe that the Elohim, the true and living God, is greater and larger than anything that can ever be imagined by man. And because of that, I'm pursuing him with all that I have, right?
Okay.
So again, I'm not so spiritually minded that I am no earthly good, that I'm unaware of what is going on with my brothers and sisters. See, no, it's in reverse.
Okay.
You feel me? It is because I am spiritually minded, I am working and acting for my brother and my sister.
Right.
It is not by any moment, any fleeing moment, by any fleeing second that the enemy is in charge or winning in this game. Regardless of what your eyes see, what I believe is that the precepts that are found in the world and the word of God are fact. That's the lens that I see the world through.
Okay.
And because of that, I got to work and do what I got to do to help, you know what I'm saying? Because there are people out there that are hopeless. There are people that have believed a lie. It's so many lies, you know what I'm saying, that have been told so many times that you believe them as truth.
Right.
Like the word Caucasian, in and of itself, you believe it's a nationality. When in reality, it was one dude that grabbed a word, you feel me, from a mountain and say, oh, these people from the Caucasus. It's boo-boo. You got to understand that so anyway, let me go too far. But even that in and of itself is just a lie on top of lie on top of lie on top of lie. What I'm asking you to do is to tap into truth. And don't believe me. Go read it and see. Like, don't believe. That's the problem. The problem is we get all of these, folk tales and all this nonsense, and we get so convoluted and submerged into an untruth that the truth sounds foreign. It don't even make the truth is weird. And we get so convoluted into the lies that the enemy distracts us to the point where we cannot think. Like, come on, imagine this, bro. Imagine if everyone just slowed down and think for 1 second. Imagine how many arguments would be dissolved if you just think about for 1 second. Right. How many times have you responded to something, blown it out of proportion, thought about it 4 minutes later, and was like,
I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, I shouldn't have responded like that, or I shouldn't have reacted like that, or that could have been this, or that could have been better. You feel me?
Yep.
So in reality, then like, oh, I didn't think about that enough. That was a misunderstanding. You feel me? Imagine how many times we use those words like misunderstanding when all you had to do was pause and understand. Right now, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. The Bible says that the people perish for the lack of knowledge.
Right.
That the people are perishing because they don't understand.
Right.
Things happen because they don't understand. Let's make it practical. Years ago, there's a large group of people that came to Omaha, right? They were literally, and I'm not to get too convoluted because I don't want nobody to politic this nonsense. So there's a large group of people that came to Omaha. They were literally 2 blocks away from the very thing they needed. You feel me?
Okay.
They needed information about how to get health care and about how to get all these different things. They needed all this information. They were 2 blocks away from it. They sat there 2 blocks away from it for months, suffering, had no idea.
Right.
Feel me? I came along on a humbug, like on something else, and was like, oh yeah, and was like, oh, it's right there. You feel me? Like, wait, you mean to tell me we've been a block and a half away from the very thing we've been looking for this whole time? Yes. Why? Because no one told me. We were perishing because we did not understand.
Right.
I could not pick up I saw it, but I couldn't read and understand it.
Is it because they didn't seek?
Nah, well, it's not even that deep. This is low-hanging fruit. I didn't understand it. Somebody had gave it to me.
Oh, they gave it to them.
Somebody said, here, this is what you need to do, but I didn't understand it.
Okay.
There was a language barrier. I didn't understand it. It was a culture barrier. It was a whole bunch of barriers. But even if regardless of the details, how many times could somebody give you something that you don't understand? Like the Bible, like a relationship with God, it's right there, but everybody is swirling around you. You don't understand it and you avoid it. You don't get it. It's up to those, right, that have a desire for understanding, right, to share what they've understood,
okay,
and what they found, right. Now, Me, don't consider myself intelligent, right? Don't consider myself well read. But if anything that I would consider myself, if I could pat myself on the back, I would say that I know who God is. I'm seeking God, right? And I truly believe that anything He has for me is for me. And if He helps me, if I'm tapped into Him, I'm trying to do the best by you. If I'm trying to love you like I love me, and I love Him with everything that I have, I'm crazy enough to believe that the mainstream is wrong and God is right. And you could be where I am, right? If you read, understand, and find out. You just can't rely on someone, you know what I'm saying, specifically for your personal mental and spiritual freedom. You could get helps. You could get guides. You can learn stories. You can have somebody run with you because, again, we're harmonious people.
Right.
But everything that you do as an individual at the end of the day is going to come from a decision that you make based upon information that you have. You feel me? It just is what it is. And once you make that decision to say, I want to follow God, right? It's inevitable for you to get with people that want to do the same thing, right? Let's go back to make sure we say it the right way. The only time you wrong about clicking up, only time you wrong in clicking up, right, is when you try to make your click better than the God that we serve. You feel me? Your click cannot transcend the God. God is God. He is bigger than all of us. What we did was just click up with people that like us. I'm Kojic because I like what Bishop Mason was on, but Bishop Mason don't have nothing to do. I mean, God is God. Bishop Mason is Bishop Mason. You feel me? Bishop Mason just a dope dude. You feel me? He's not a God. God is God. Bishop Mason is a dope dude. You feel me? He did some things by the grace, my belief, by the grace of God, empowering him because of his faith. Right. So I'm saying, so it takes faith to move. Let's go.
Yeah, without doubt. So tomorrow, make sure you guys are in the building.
Please do.
Give us a recap on when it starts, where it starts, and if they can't register now, they can register at the day of, right? They can still come the day
if
of.
You can get there, you can register the day of, but in order to get on the bus, you have to register now, please, right? Better Together Campus tomorrow, 10 a.m. Play the spot after this, please.
Okay.
Better Together Campus tomorrow, 10 a.m., 10 to 4. We got D1, an amazing young man. Please Google him. He is a rapper. He is right now, I think when he's coming from Harvard right now, he's teaching a class or doing some stuff at Harvard. Super intelligent and amazing young man. He's going to be there. Yolanda Ross from The Shy is going to be there. And a whole lot of super dope people from the city of Omaha is going to be there as well. Please get your kids there. This is an opportunity you don't want to miss. We are going to expound upon OPS's pathway so your young people know and understand how what's in them can help all of us be a dope and amazing community. Make sure you're there at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning at the Better Together campus at 45, 45th and Bedford. On Saturday, go get your tickets at Ticketmaster. The dance competition is going all the way up. We're going to put on a real show. Like I'm talking about a real show. All the stuff that you want to see. You're going to see your young people on display. Moms, dads, get a ticket. Make sure you're there. Whatever you're doing in the daytime, there's so many events going on Saturday morning. But I want everybody to be at the Mid-America Arena on Saturday night starting at 5 o'clock. This is going to be something you don't want to miss. As a matter of fact, once we get to a certain capacity in the arena, every single one of the dollars that we earn will go towards a community foundation to help small organizations, because we can't sit up here and say, I want you to do what you do in your neighborhood. I want you to start neighborhood associations to be connected to SONA and NONA. We want you to galvanize the neighborhood so you know your neighbor, so you can love your neighbor as yourself, so you know who they are. I'm not saying you got to bake them cookies every week, but you definitely got to know who lives next to you and behind you so that you can be a support to them and they can be a support to you. You never know what somebody will need in this world. So dig this. I can't say that without giving you resources to do so. We want you to have birthday parties on the block. We want you to have Lil Johnny and them, everybody on our block on the honor roll parties. We want you to do that. We want you to tap into what's going on with Sherman and them at the Bryant Center. We want you to tap into all this stuff. We're trying to build a community. We're trying to normalize families. We're trying to normalize love. We're trying to normalize the things that help our community be sustained in a positive way, right? So every dollar we can make to go towards something like that, and every dollar that we can spend going towards things like that, we want to do it. So Saturday is just about that. And it's about letting these kids dance. The dance competition is going to be so lit. It's going to be so much energy. We got Any Tribe. They're from all over the country. They are one of the premier hip hop artists, positive and gospel hip hop artists in the country. They are amazing. D1 is going to perform. We got local artist Andre Wright. He's going to tear up the stage. I think the band going to be there too. I think we're going to let it slap too, big bro. The band going to do what it do. It's going to be a show. Trust me. When I say a show, I'm talking about a show. We're not playing. You feel me? Please, you don't want to miss this. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to Facebook experience this. You do not want to watch nobody live. You do not want to see nobody pictures. You want to be in the room. So please make sure you're there. Friday, 10 a.m. Please register livenext.org. The buses tomorrow, 9:30, and the pickup are Central, Burke, and Benson, right? If you need registration, please put that down there. If you need a ride, please put that down. We can add stops, but they start at 9:30 and they will come every 15 minutes until we get all the kids where they need to be. You tapped in the Boys and Girls Club. If you tapped in the Urban League, if you tapped into the 100 Black Men, if you tapped into the Empowerment Network, the U360, or Step Up, find your caseworker, find your person, and ask them how to get where you need to be tomorrow. It's going to be an amazing situation. I love y'all so much. And William King got me talking about the whole world. I just want to say the babies. You feel me? I want families to be amazing, man. I want people to have the joy that I have. And my joy is rooted and grounded in God. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all too, man. I think I'm done, William. I keep trying to end it. But please make sure you are where you're supposed to be, if you're supposed to be there. Shout out to all the professionals that are going to help us too. I wish I had my list in front of me, but I'm live. We got some amazing people coming to partner with us, man. Omaha is so dope. I don't know if y'all know that. Omaha is a real situation in this world. And there's some amazing people in here. I got on your banner across from me. I every time I'm here, I see all these faces of all these talented and amazing people that's from the city. So we got Yolanda Ross. Did I say that from the Shah? She's gonna be there for the arts class. She's gonna be there. Shout out to Yolanda too, an amazing person. And I think that's it, man. Y'all be easy. I gotta go to my next meeting. Right here. We'll be here at 11. It's probably backwards, but you're gonna talk about today. Yes. We're gonna talk about this community
today, 11 o'clock over at Metro Community College, building 22. We're about to get out of here, y'all. Gotta do some coordination. Remember, we gotta get that money, y'all. Gotta get that money. Keep your head towards God, like my man Jay Shannon said. Keep the faith, y'all. Walk in faith. I know it's gonna happen. I'm an example of it. Again, Untamed is during their 18th week this weekend, 4 to 7 o'clock. Untamed. I think my man No Good is gonna be in the building at 4 o'clock this Sunday. So make sure you guys support Untamed. They're gonna be down at Bryan Center. They've been there all summer long, doing their thing, y'all. Again, we want to thank Jay, my man Dave, and all his whole team for doing what they do. Make sure you guys come out and support the conference. Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, what's the dates of the race, the hood race? Sherman, where's the hood race, Sherman? And then Jake, he lost some weight, y'all. He getting in shape. I don't know who he's running against. Oh, Sherman, you in trouble, man. Hey, baby, every time you come in here, you looking in better shape. I'm gonna haul the birds of bus, man. I'm about to get out of here. Boss with me.
Stream 95.7 The Boss on the TuneIn app. Worldwide, search 95.7 The Boss.
Are you stressed over household bills each month? Partner with Heart Ministry Center and get on the road to self-sufficiency. Come to our orientation to learn about budgeting, debt management, and other helpful resources. Our A Way Forward orientation is held every Wednesday from noon to 1 o'clock p.m. at Heart Ministry Center. No appointment necessary. Find out more at heartministrycenter.org. We believe in dignity for all.
Heart Ministry Center is a proud supporter of KOWN 95. the boss.
Heart Ministry Center provides food, healthcare, and a way forward to families in Omaha experiencing poverty. You can make the holiday season brighter for your neighbors in need by donating today at heartministrycenter.org or by calling 402-451-2321. Thank you for your generous support.
Heart Ministry Center is a proud supporter of KOWN 95.7, The Boss.
Does your body not feel the way it should? Are you startled by pain or loss of breath? Are there changes in your body that seem unusual? NOAA, North Omaha Area Health Clinic, provides free testing and screening for STDs, pregnancy, or stroke and high blood pressure, or even COVID-19. Make sure to be there for the important moments in life with a free screening from NOAA. Visit noahclinic.org or call 402-933-0737.
At Charles Drew Health Center, our strength is our community. We are part of a statewide community health network. As your trusted community healthcare source, we've been here since day one of the pandemic, and we will continue to provide testing, treatment, vaccines, and boosters, as well as high-quality, affordable health care for every member of your family. Charles Drew Health Center is your trusted provider for medical, dental, behavioral health, and pharmaceutical support, as well as various enabling services in our North Omaha community. For COVID-19 care and beyond, Charles Drew Health Center is here for you. Good health is about good partnerships. So call us today at 402-451-3553. That's 402-451-3553 to schedule an appointment. Welcome back to community healthcare you can trust at Charles Drew Health Center.
Are you stressed over household bills each month? Partner with Heart Ministry Center and get on the road to self-sufficiency. Come to our orientation to learn about budgeting, debt management, and other helpful resources. Our Away Forward orientation is held every Wednesday from noon to 1 o'clock p.m. at Heart Ministry Center. No appointment necessary. Find out more at heartministrycenter.org. We believe in dignity for all.
Heart Ministry Center is a proud supporter of KOWN 95.7, The Boss.
Grammy Award winners Ja Rule and Ashanti live in Omaha at the Baxter Arena, December 10th. Tickets on sale now for Ja Rule and Ashanti. Over 10 million hits sold.
When you look at me, baby, everything that we do should be between me and you, but I'm always on time.
Also featuring platinum selling Lloyd. Saturday, December 10th at the Baxter Arena. Hold up, there's more. Platinum selling legend Twista. It's Ja Rule, Ashanti, Lloyd, and Twista. Hold up, there's more. It's do or die. One night, one stage, live at the Baxter Arena. It's Ja Rule, Ashanti, Lloyd, Twista, and Do or Die. Tickets available at the Baxter box office or Ticketmaster.com. Hosted by DJ Mr. Soul. Saturday, December 10th. Powered by 95.7 The Boss.
October 15th is the City to City Hip Hop and R&B Showcase.
Money, big.
We at Virtue. We at Chicago, Arkansas, Omaha, Nebraska, St. Louis, and surrounding areas. We in KC for the City to City Hip Hop R&B Showcase.
Bro, I'm living proof. How can I lose? We the who's who.
With DJ Fresh and Rocky Montana. Call 402-709-1290 for VIP tables and tickets. This is the City to City Hip Hop and R&B Showcase out South KC for Virtue. Presenting all surrounding towns. And also on the same day, City to City Day Party celebration. On the same day, Saturday, October 15th, we at Mr. Big's Place for free food, refreshment, live music, DJ, and more. Located at 12402 Blue Ridge Road in Grandview, Missouri. Sponsored by Legacy Vineyard Exclusive. True Legacy Premium Vodka. It all goes down Saturday, October 15th in KC.
Our criminal justice system is broken, and we deserve better. I'm Dave Pantos, and I'm running for Douglas County Attorney to bring about equal justice under the law for all people. I'll never support the criminalization of abortion or cannabis, but I will seek common sense gun reform and make sure we hold violent offenders accountable. My opponent takes tens of thousands of dollars from people like Pete Ricketts, which tell you all you need to know about him. Please visit davepantos.com to join the campaign and connect with us today. Paid for by Pantos for County Attorney.
The Does your body not feel the way it should? Are you startled by pain or loss of breath? Are there changes in your body that seem unusual? NOAA, North Omaha Area Health Clinic, provides free testing and screening for STDs, pregnancy, or stroke and high blood pressure, or even COVID-19. Make sure to be there for the important moments in life with a free screening from NOAA. Visit NOAAclinic.org or call 402-933-0737.
Grammy Award winners Ja Rule and Ashanti live in Omaha at the Baxter Arena December 10th. Tickets on sale now for Ja Rule.